thing. But talking about Rema, what do you guys think about this whole Rema smoking brand thing, that people are saying he's forcing it, and some people think that he's just trying to do it for conversation?
I think it's more of personality than brand. I think he's building a persona. He's trying to become, I think he's become more adult, and he needs to do something that convey that adulthood. And stuff that maybe he wouldn't necessarily do when he was 21, 20. He's becoming more grown now, and he wants to grow and stuff. And I think the smoking part is part of it. And I don't know if he smokes marijuana or stuff. You see other guys come out with marijuana a lot, smoking in public, but I don't know if he's in that.
Don't mention names, please.
No, definitely. I don't like to see it as branded and maybe he's trying to build like a roll out stuff. I think he just kind of like trivialize whatever he's trying to do, and I think he's maybe going through something. I don't know. Like when I look at him, I genuinely
cannot help you go through anything.
I mean,
there can be a coping mechanism.
It's just be a coping mechanism. I really do hope he's doing okay, because it bothers me every time with the cigarette, and he's always drawing it, and it's always like some it appears like, okay, why are you always now into this cigarette thing? Like there are people we know that this is their thing, they're always smoking, but it has never been your thing. So if I thought you did it, it was indoors. So why are you now stepping out, like you're coming out like, okay, I smoke and I need you guys to know I smoke? And it's really, I think it's disturbing. I actually do hope he's fine, because he's 24 and he's done things at 24 that might be unprecedented. People at his age before him, the stars before him,
nobody at 24 has done what Rema
has done. Yeah, nobody's making the kind of money he's making when they were 24.
Ladies and gentlemen, stealing Jimmy's style.
Yeah.
Mamas and papas, boys and girls. Sorry. Welcome to another episode of The Greatest. You're not tuned into the greatest of all time.
You should be moonlighting as an hype man.
You go pay me.
Yeah, people will pay you.
Nah, fuck that. The number one podcast on the planet. Fuck Joe Rogan. Fuck Call Her Daddy. Fuck Joe Budden.
Don't call a woman's name. Don't call a woman's name.
Which one is that?
Any female podcaster.
Call Her Daddy is a female podcaster.
Okay.
Fuck Call Her Daddy.
Alright, cool. When will people come for you?
What are you supposed to mean?
Let me finish my intro now. The Zero Conditions podcast is back tonight.
Yes, sure.
Sadly, Melody's AWOL. Not the label, but the music company.
Melody's having fun.
Yeah, she does slimy now.
We don't care.
She's having fun. Are you
Slimy.
Melody's a fucking... Everybody, tell her I said this. That if she comes back into this country without gifts, without giveaway for you guys, that she needs to apologize on the next episode. She's in South Africa with Spotify. Whatever, right?
Having so much fun at my Melody.
Oh, women supporting women. Fuck that. And on this episode, I have two eminent personalities.
Eminent, let's get it.
First, Mr. Facts Only. And that's
facts only.
Facts only, no time.
Yeah, that's facts only.
And number two. No, the woman cannot be number two.
No, I'm number 2. It's fine.
It's okay.
Last but not least.
Yeah.
No, you're not last. Let me find a name for you. Woman Commando.
Yeah, woman. Shout out our star.
Cera, OAP, Max FM, TV personality, TVC.
Hi.
APC, CDC.
What? Please, I beg you.
LPC.
Take out
GCFR, MFR.
Take out all of that, please. Just Woman Commando, Max FM, TVC.
You're offended by that APC?
I'm so offended, please. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I would have been offended myself.
How are you guys doing?
I'm grand. I'm good.
Great. I'm
good to
actually
be here.
great.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just coming from hanging out with the good people of Google.
Okay.
Had so much champagne.
Oh, no wonder you don't know you're drinking.
I just also finished hanging out with the good people of Pulse. clocked in a fruitful 9 to 5. Left before 5.
I'm on leave. I'm on holiday. So
yeah, clocked in for my daily 2K.
I love that.
Looking at it, it's nearly month end, so I need to,
It's nearly month end.
put in that last shift if I get that alert.
Wait, is it just me or like June was financially stressful? I know Motolani can never.
Financially stressful June.
Yeah, wait.
This month
Amen.
was-
I claim it.
Even me, I
cannot
claim.
relate.
I mean, they say it for
This
me, but I
month
claim
was
it.
like
What do you mean by financially stressful? What does that look like?
like the bills are more than the money that came in this
Oh,
month.
oh.
It's like, so now I can't wait to get to this stage of adulting where I'm not calculating, like
Omo,
calculating
I don't think it ever
for
happens.
Even
everything.
Dangote they
I don't
calculate. You
think
don't
it's
hear
ever
what
happened.
Burna Boy sing. Dangote.
I don't think it's ever
See,
happened.
no, I don't think Dangote calculates like I do. Before I buy
You're not
anything,
Dangote
before I
now.
buy anything, I'm like, is this worth it? Should I must do more mental math first, and it's so
Let
annoying.
me tell you something that's going to help you today.
What?
Have you had Chivas XV before?
I have.
Okay, but you never had it in this studio, have you?
I've never had it.
Okay, boss.
So what will this do for me? At
No,
least
don't
I
worry,
won't
don't
calculate
worry.
for the
I tell
next
you,
2
don't worry.
hours.
Take him.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Take him.
Don't worry. You just open your bank app and you just be smiling. You won't understand why.
Because of Chivas,
You
yeah?
see zeros that
Ah.
are actually not
And you
there.
just be
but
laughing. You be happy. You understand?
You just be chill. You be
Premium
buzzing.
drink.
Please, I don't do such escapism.
Shout out to our sponsors. Thanks for blessing us this season. Are loyal. This episode was brought to you by the one and only Chivas Regal.
Shout out
Chivas
Chivas.
Regal.
Shout out Chivas.
Clapping for you guys.
Adeayo, you better you're about to clap. Oh.
I just say shout out to Chivas now. Stop.
Clap.
Clap,
Then
let's clap, let's clap.
Clap. Oh.
Shout out to Chivas. Shout
So
out to
you go
Chivas.
align.
We have to align, you know. Someone's got to pick some calls somewhere. Chivas, you know, your time is call me.
Chivas, call me too. I have some shows that you should sponsor.
I love it. I love it.
Plug. So what did you say? You were complaining about June, but I feel like Burna Boy said Dangote still dey find money. That's not a lie.
See,
If the guy don't dey find money, no go open refinery.
real, no
Mhm.
doubt. However, you can't. When I'm complaining about money, please don't mention Dangote. Can't even mention you. You're mentioning Dangote.
So
Why are you
think,
going that far?
you think I'm in those realms?
Why are
innit?
you going that far?
You think I'm in those realms?
You're sure not on my realm.
I say amen that I'm in Dangote's realm. I claim it.
No, you're
in the
not
mighty
there
name
yet.
of
You're not
Jesus.
in Dangote's realm.
How do you know?
yet. We know you're
You
not
don't see my
there.
bank account.
We know say you never reach there.
Ah, see, this
Even
big
Burna
brother.
Boy
Don't
never
worry,
reach
you might be-
Dangote realm.
you
You
It's
might be a
real.
silent billionaire.
You
You
are
know, like all those
underrating me.
billionaires in Alaba market that are richer than Dangote. You know, they used to say they are billionaires in Alaba market, on an area market, richer
Whatever
than
makes,
Dangote.
whatever makes those guys feel good.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Whatever
Today's
makes
New Music Friday.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Afrobeats, man. God bless Afrobeats.
Shout out
Today is
to
one of the best music, maybe the best music Friday,
Friday
yet
in
this
the-
year.
yeah, this
Since
year.
I eating up, it's June.
There was one earlier in the year that was, I think February. That was very good as well.
What's so special about today aside Stubborn album that dropped?
Ashake dropped the. Ashake
Rema
is back.
Aside that
Majestic is still.
Rema Shallipopi.
Yeah, Beanie Boys.
Okay, let's talk about that song.
Odusi drop an album. Shout out
I don't
Odusi.
listen to Odunsi.
I've not listened to them.
Yeah, I've had a couple of songs, but I've not like settled
I'm
down.
a huge
to
fan of Odusi.
digest
You guys,
them.
what do you think about?
Mologo dropped
Wait,
a song.
Before we move,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about Rema and Shallipopi?
I think it's a
The
brilliant
song?
Yeah, the song.
Adeayo.
What do I think about the
Honestly,
song?
be
I think the
honest.
song doesn't live up to its moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just me. Like when you expect, or when you anticipate a Shallipopi Rema song, you expect fireworks. I'm sorry, I didn't get fireworks. I get
What were you expecting? Because I think that's what that's the song.
that song. It's like Rema from Ravage EP was on fire. He was just going at it, you know, just bustling, just giving them the flow, saying I am in. Like I dare you guys to see otherwise. Yeah, which he is, right? Then like there's this energy to it. He had something to say, like he was giving us straight up. This one feels like something from the archive, something you already recorded, just like toasted, and just felt like, okay, I think I should bring this back. Shallipopi will sound good on this. Then Shallipopi put a verse on it. Like when I take them apart, like when I weigh their verses, it just doesn't live up to what I would expect from them. Now let's talk about Shallipopi's verse. He has been on a commendable run of features recently, most notably the one on Ludo on Victoria's album. Nah, he went in.
He did?
Yeah, he did. He went in. Then he did very well on King Promise's song too.
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah, I think he did well there. And someone teased on Twitter. I saw this thing, a teaser of remix for this Tala ICU's yeah. Is it Iku?
I call it Iku.
I call him Tala ICU. I don't know, intensive care
ICU
unit.
just sounds like a hospital.
Yeah. The MNK. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, and then Lugia and Shallipopi on it. Nika.
Only MNK.
Is it MNK?
Oh,
Is it Nika? That's what I call it. It's not MNK. Most South Africa now. But what's Nika?
The song literally says
MNK.
No, the song literally says Nika.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, Nika.
Do I know that's what they're spelling?
Well, you are Nigerian, so it's
I don't know,
okay.
but shout out to Tyler ICU.
MNK.
And shout out, since we're talking about South Africa, shout out to Young Stoner. That guy
Young Stoner is very
he's one of the
good.
baddest
He's a
guys
dope
on the
guy.
planet right now.
Very, very dope.
I'm so crazy about his music.
I don't even
Like
know
his
him.
rap,
Go and check
people
him
are
out.
obsessed with
I
Young
will.
Go and
Stoner.
check him out.
No,
That
there's a
guy's
guy that
crazy.
was raving about Young Slime I mentioned some days ago.
That guy's crazy.
And I was like, oh, well, are you new?
Yeah, like I think I knew from Adi Willie. I was not like,
Yeah.
I think it was okay. This is good. Then when I heard him was City, when I first heard City, right? Man, I was this guy's Kale's album, the one he dropped 2022.
Yeah.
Like, this good. This Afrobeat. Okay, I like this. And I was not hearing one part. I was like, the fuck was this person? I had to go check the video to
Young
be sure it
Stoner.
was Young Stoner. And it was Young Stoner.
Okay, now
Oh my
I'm
god.
sold. I want
Then
to
he
check
now
it
Young
went
Stoner?
on
You
I
should.
wanna
Kabza
check him
and
out.
did crazy on Imitan.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mitandazo.
Yeah.
But before we move on to appreciate the South African guys, you've not told us why you think Rema and Shallipopi was a good record.
I had the record before it dropped, obviously. But
So that's why you think it's a good
no.
record.
And
Look at this
I like
guy.
the beat. I think the production is very up tempo. We've been getting a lot of mid tempo songs this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very up tempo. I think it's club worthy, and I think it's giving Beyonce and Shakira.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
The
movement.
The vibe. So it's commemorating the moment
Yeah.
Okay.
and documenting what it is that the culture is, right, from a particular place. Even though they didn't exactly underscore it on the song. I mean, a lot of people would have probably wanted to hear more of that, the Benin side of the song,
Yeah.
calling the Benin boy. But I felt like the song Rema on Ravage EP was more on the I'm the guy. It was a flossing project, right? From the first, if you hear the first line on D&D, you just know that he's trying to say I am the guy. I don't need the charts to be the guy.
We
I am the
know.
guy, right? But this one, it felt like what it did on Crayon's song, Baby You Too Correct, you too correct. I did in 2021, 2020, I can't remember. That's Crayon's sophomore EP. So the up tempo, I'd not heard, like D&D is up tempo, but it's not this up tempo. I think it's fast. I think this is faster, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think Beanie Boys is faster. I think
Beanie
Beanie
Boys
is
and
faster.
what's the song on the Ravage EP, the one that I
D&D.
really
Smooth
like?
Criminal?
No,
D&D.
Red Potion.
Red Potion is slow.
It's slow now. That's slow.
Bomb shotty for gunshot. Yeah. That song is sexy as
I
fuck.
like, can't you see the way I
It's
just move?
sexy.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Rema,
Yeah, no, wait, bro,
okay.
let me tell you. You know the parts that caused my head on that. Rema said, "Your low waist put me for headlock." I don't
What's
like
headlock?
what?
headlock. When you put
Your head, your hand, like.
hand and you lock the person's head. Like
Yeah,
this.
so he's
so
talking
this
about
is
how.
headlock.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
an headlock. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, Louis.
I'll always put you for headlock.
Ah.
What was your head doing there, bro?
Ah.
Leave it to the
Okay,
imagination.
talking about Rema still. Talking about
So
Rema.
I thought, and then Shallipopi did well on the song. I think Shallipopi did okay.
See, when I heard the song,
okay.
truthfully, the first thing that I thought was, I'm a huge Rema fan,
Yeah.
huge. So the first thing that I thought was, maybe not for me, because I'm not the biggest Shallipopi
Yeah.
person. But then I remembered the conversation that you guys had on this
Oh, what was the conversation?
with AOT, where you were saying that for a while, you guys were saying on the show, like, I don't know if you listened, that you
Yeah,
were saying that for a while, like, we've not had an actual club banger.
Yeah, club banger,
Exactly.
yeah.
So when I heard it, I was like, okay,
This
just
It's
maybe
a club
when
song.
you,
It's a
just
club
maybe
song.
when I'm in the club, I would feel
Yeah,
it
it's
better.
a club song. It's a club
Yeah.
song. If I hear it at, so my judge, the way I judge like certain pop songs, especially if I know that they're meant for the clubs, is if I hear it at 2 a.m. in a club in Joburg, am I going to like it? So there are a lot of songs that I don't necessarily like. But I'm not a club guy. Let me not even lie. I don't go to clubs. I hate clubs. I hate clubs.
Once in like 6 months. And I make sure I enjoy myself.
The only times that I
go
go.
6 months.
I'm a man of modest income. It's not for me.
I'm a woman. See, this is where I like patriarchy. I'm a woman and I enjoy.
You enjoy patriarchy.
Sometimes we have few benefits.
Wait, no. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a moment.
No.
We have a moment.
No.
Faith, please help me.
No, what I'm saying is
we have a moment.
No.
You are saying
Let me
you enjoy patriarchy.
And there are benefits.
I love it.
There are benefits to patriarchy.
There are.
Wow. Ones for us.
Wow.
For example, all I need is to just get a call from a friend, and the person says, "Sarah, let's hang out tonight at Pavilion or something."
What, really?
And I know that 1 naira from my pocket is not coming out. Yeah, thanks to patriarchy in that moment.
As a woman, how do you determine who to go to the club? It is patriarchy.
It is. That's the only reason.
How many women call you to go to the club?
Exactly.
When you go to the club with women, who pays?
It's when I've never been to a club with a woman.
Exactly.
With women, like friends, girls.
Like I go with a bunch of women.
Adeayo, if you and I go to the club now, who would pay for the drinks? Definitely not me.
I think you are what's it called, a modern woman. You will split the bill.
I'm not splitting bill with you.
I don't know. So
that's why I like to respect myself. I would not hang out with someone that's not my guy.
That will pick the bills.
Yeah, my guy will pick the bills.
And they will invite. It has to be someone that invites you out.
I mean, what if someone invites you out? The person is obligated to pay.
What do you like in the clubs?
I just like the idea of being drunk and having fun. I'm not like being in clubs and making only selfies and stuff. Like actually dancing and
did you
being
guys
with your guys.
Tweets about like he hates Lagos clubs or something that everybody's just there for me.
Truthfully, yes. Like so, I don't go to the club as often, right? Like I said, once in 6 months, maybe once in 4 months. I don't go to clubs.
You try once in 4 months.
Yeah, but I make sure that
you try.
I make sure that the few times that I enter a club, I must have like. Why am I not sleeping at home? If you understand, like I'm outside of my house, so I should have fun. Dancing and just getting drunk. And
I don't understand the idea of clubs, personally.
I don't enjoy it.
I don't understand what clubs are like. My friends make fun of me, right? They make fun of me because they will say, they go house. Because I get there.
Don't you like dancing?
I can dance in my house.
At clubs.
I dance at home, but it's not the same thing.
It doesn't. So my number one problem with Nigerian clubs, the only club that I enjoy going to in Lagos is Hotbox. That's the only one I go to in Lagos if I want to go to a club.
And dance.
I don't dance.
So what's special about Hotbox?
I just enjoy the atmosphere.
You shouldn't dance.
Why am I dancing?
Tolani Badge said what?
You shouldn't dance.
What did Tolani Badge say?
She doesn't like men that dance.
Not to defend her, but I understand where she was coming from.
It's
not to defend her, but I understand where she was coming from. I promise you.
What do you understand about it?
I understand where she was
so
coming from.
now man won't get money to dance. Don't you think that's patriarchy? You are laughing.
Say there are different kind of dance. There's some dance you see and you're like, oh, cool, sexy, nice.
She didn't contextualize.
But then there are some that you see and you're like,
honestly,
bro, what the hell? Why? If I
can't even dance. So
I get it.
Like, what are you doing?
You can't dance
at all.
So what are you going to do on your wedding day?
Oh,
when they say you should dance,
I'm going to practice. Actually, I'm going to
practice for what?
I don't know.
Something that I have not done for 30 years. You not dance in 3 months.
Yeah.
Are you learning ballet?
No, salsa.
I think you should just try not to be sober on your wedding day.
Salsa.
But can you move to the beat at least?
Yeah, I can. It just get a bit complicated when my legs get involved. But I can. I think. I think I'm improving. But if I'm going to like my wedding day, I don't know why I'm talking about weddings, but I'm going to take dance classes actually. Shut the fuck up.
I like that name. Queen Adeayo. This nigga has been flexing on everybody that he has a baby.
You know, they keep saying this.
Now only you go first enter a relationship.
They all have, like, you all have partners, and nobody hassle you guys over it. But me, I'm the only one, Corey, that motherfucker will pick up the phone and call me on a random afternoon.
Who? Corey.
I said, Adeayo, you have been an hassle to everybody since you start dating that girl. But you don't come out, this one call me. Adeayo, why don't you come outside anymore?
Because it's the truth now. It's the truth.
The way Mutola's relationship is, that's if he's still in one. It's private at least.
Don't worry.
I mean, we know Queen Adeayo.
And so
We like you
guys,
randomly
I'm
tweet
not
about
like-
her. I'm like,
you will know celebrity. I'm not saying I'm a celebrity couple. I'm just saying
Celebrity.
And that's facts only.
That's facts
And that's
only.
facts
You guys
only.
are
You walked into that one.
I'm saying like you guys know actors that post their women and stuff like that. It's not this special now. You guys just like to point it out. Oh, Adeayo did this thing, Adeayo did that thing.
No, we just like to see that soft side of you.
Oh.
I always show.
Cute.
I don't even have.
To be honest,
the hard
Adeayo
side.
is not a womanizer that I know.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
have
not
a
a
hard side.
womanizer.
He's not.
I don't even have.
He's not like
Eh?
KD.
You don't have a hard side.
Every man should have a hard side that he should show when
balancing.
Yeah, when in demand. But I don't necessarily go out and show an aggressive, this
No,
hard
you're
side.
not. I don't think anybody sees you as aggressive. However,
Oh, you'd be
it's good-
surprised.
It's good to see that you have a sweet, soft.
I think
lovey-dovey
it
side
balances
to
your
you.
brand.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Let me tell you why. When I was at Pulse, people saw me as a very angry guy.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
only thing that they saw me do was critique music and talk about baddies. Do you understand? So this one, it doesn't have any center, right? But you go critique music, give it to people, and then they will see you cuddling your baby.
Yeah, or just randomly tweeting about
say,
what she
I'm in
got
love.
to you.
And they say my wife.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't say. What the fuck did I say that?
You say your wife.
What she
Oh
got you.
no! It
On your
was
birthday.
somebody.
Oh,
No, I didn't say
exactly.
my
You
wife for my
ran-
birthday.
You say your wife for
I
your
was
birthday.
making shit up.
You say your.
Yeah, I mean, like
You
you
say
go
your
to
wife-
Instagram
He's making shit
Are you
up.
lying that you
stories
don't
and
call that your
they're
wife?
seeing
You
flowers
call
and
her
stuff.
that. No. What the fuck are we having this conversation for fuck's sake?
I mean, just shout outs to her.
And you know what?
Queen Adeayo.
yo,
Queen
I was with this clothes. With this
Skills
clothes.
gave her that name. Shout out to Skills.
When these clothes coming together today, like this clothes, ball.
I was really expecting to see her.
Yeah,
What
of
you-
course.
Queen Adeayo.
Queen
Yeah.
Adeayo,
Oh, please.
hi.
Please, let's stick to Afrobeats and pop
Let's
culture,
talk
please.
about the clothes that we're talking
See, I
about.
was going to talk about before we even.
Clubs.
I wanted to move on from the club thing, but talking about Rema, what do you guys think about this whole Rema smoking brand thing? That people are saying he's forcing it, and some people think that he's just trying to do it for conversation as
What
per
do you think?
superstar.
I don't think he's using it for branding. I think it's more of personality than branding. I think he's building a persona. He's trying to become. I think he's living that young man. He's becoming like that youth to
Adult
becoming a bit of
man.
he's become more adult, and he needs to do something that convey that adulthood. And stuff that maybe he wouldn't necessarily do when he was 21, 20, something that
How
he
old is
wouldn't
now?
do
24.
24. So
24.
he's becoming more grown now, and he wants to grow and stuff. And I think the smoking part is part of it. Like, and I think it's not. I don't know if he smokes marijuana or stuff, but I don't think he's.
I think it's secrets.
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah. And, like you see, other guys come out with marijuana a lot, smoke
Yeah.
in public, but I don't know if he's in that. He's
Don't
has that
mention names,
boldness.
please,
Yeah,
I beg
no,
you.
definitely.
We don't. Need
So
to.
he's into cigarette, and there's that personality part of it. I don't like to see it as branding that maybe he's trying to build like a rollout stuff. I think he just kind of like trivialize whatever he's trying to do, and I think he's maybe going through something. I don't know. Like when I look at him, I
But cigarettes
genuinely.
cannot help you go through anything.
I mean,
There can be a coping
yeah, it's
mechanism.
just be a coping mechanism. I really do hope he's doing okay because it bothers me. I mean, maybe not like too much, but I think it's becoming too much. You see him every time with the cigarette, and he's always drawing it, and it's always like some it appears like, okay, why are you always now into this cigarette thing? Like there are people we know that this is their thing, they're always smoking, but it has never been your thing. So if I thought you did it, it was indoors. So why are you now stepping out, like you coming out like, okay, I smoke and I need you guys to know I smoke? And it's really, I think it's disturbing. I actually do hope he's fine because he's 24 and he's done things at 24 that might be unprecedented. People at his age before him, the stars before him, they have not been
Nobody
able
at
to do-
30.
nobody
Nobody
Oh,
at
like-
24 has done what Rema
Yeah.
has done. Yeah, nobody's making the kind of
Yeah,
money
money.
he's making when they were 24.
I don't even think it's the money thing. He
Yeah.
has the biggest Afrobeat song of all time.
Yeah, and he's
That-
24.
that-
and-
Numbers
that
wise.
equals to money.
Yeah, and I'm saying like the success and what he brought him, like that would do a lot to a young man at 24. That kind of money, that kind of attention, that kind of fame would do a lot to a young man. And I don't know how he's handling it. And maybe the cigarette is part of it. I just really do hope.
What do you
It's
think,
fine, yeah.
Sarah?
Honestly, I don't know. But then my first thought was he might be going through something like what Adeayo said. Truthfully, he might be going through something. Or he might just actually be living his life. And I feel like if it wasn't Rema, maybe it wouldn't have been this much of a big deal. So there's also that part where this young boy might just actually be.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean,
you know this thing about people who probably don't smoke before, and when they start,
And that's
or
why it's
not,
been
or
talked
don't do
about.
anything at all, and then when you start, like even sex,
I
even,
think that's why it's been
even
talked
going
about.
to church, even anything. People who don't do this thing before and they just start, they
Bring attention.
it excites them, you know. So
Oh.
just maybe he's going through that excitement phase of so this thing bad like this, like, or maybe he just feels like he looks cool. I don't know.
I
really
think
do not know.
it kind of looks cool.
It looks cool.
It can look cool. I mean, we've seen
and it brings conversation.
You've seen
so.
people take cigarettes, cigars, and stuff like that. It kind of like gives you this
Someone
personality,
trended
this
at
edge.
Ojude for smoking a fucking cigar, bro.
Yeah.
While wearing agbada.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Shout
tattoos. He looks so
out to
hot.
Chief Farooq
I just, I
Oreagba.
don't know.
He
There's
looks
been a lot
so
going on
hot.
about that man on
No,
social
we're going.
media.
That's our next topic. We'll
Okay.
come back to it.
Why are we talking about that?
No, we'll come
Oh.
back to it. Don't worry. My thought is, what was Rema when he came out?
How old was he? Or
What was he like? What was the
It's
brand?
like cute
Young.
Spider-Man.
was
little
cute,
boy,
young.
cute little boy.
What did you used to carry?
teddy bear?
Teddy bear.
What did that connote?
No, it's just young and
Yeah.
it's
Cute.
The brand appealed to a lot of young women. Did
Yeah.
it not?
It did though. It did.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that date thing that he did and the amount of girls that were
Yeah.
battling to go on the
It
date with
applied
Rema?
to yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
and
remember?
then he
One
chose
person
Diana
won.
and Eje eventually or so. Yeah.
Was
it
that the
Diana
person that
and Eje.
won?
It was Diana and Eje
That
that
chose-
went.
Oh,
so.
okay.
I think so. I think
And
so.
they went on the yacht.
I
So
think
the
so.
yacht
Yeah,
is
I
yeah.
on
think
there.
so. I think
No.
so. Yeah.
The next phase of Rema, since I think I changed, I don't wanna be no. I think that was the last time I saw him with the teddy bear. That was the song he performed on Colors Fame. Now, the brand kind of evolved to this. It was a bridge between cute and confident and kind of bad boy.
That's where I met him.
Does that make sense? Cute.
Yeah.
Because the cute thing came, even though he was growing, was becoming this superstar. Rema has a larger than life persona.
This was just before Rave and Roses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
This
before
was where I
River
met
Roses.
him. This was where I
right?
started liking
So
him.
Rema,
So you started seeing
do you
like
guys
a man.
remember? Do you guys remember?
I'm like, oh baby, ooh.
Can you take it easy? Damn, man. It's
I hate
24, man.
champagne. See, Rema is the perfect younger guy for me.
Are you serious?
How did we get here?
Don't come close to me. God damn, man.
How did we get here, bruh?
I just think he's so hot for a younger guy. Okay, moving on.
Well,
Okay, Rema, get
All
in
right.
touch.
okay.
Don't get in touch.
Get in
Or
touch.
maybe get in touch.
Okay.
It reminds me of roast of Justin Bieber. This woman that was eating on him then. This woman that went to jail. Snoop Dogg's friend.
Bro,
what's her
Bata
name?
Stewart.
Yeah, Martha Stewart. They call me.
Bro,
It's
the roast of Tom Brady is the ghost, though. I think that's better.
Like
than
your
roast of
favorite
Tom Brady.
roast?
Yeah.
No, I think it was.
No, the one I watched recently.
Yeah, like you like the.
The roast of
The
Tom
No,
Kim
Brady.
Kardashian
They had like
was-
four
the one
good.
Kim
They had
Kardashian
like
was
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of-
yeah.
no, they had like 3 or 4 good sets. The was
Which
it Natasha
roast?
Leggero
Which
that was
roast?
there of Tom Brady?
The roast of Tom Brady, the best ones were that guy at the end. That guy that wore a big buckle. I can't remember the comedian guy. I can't remember his name.
A guy. Are you sure he's not the woman?
The girl, that's
The lesbian woman from Atlanta, I
Nikki
think.
Glacier
Nikki
was very
Glacier
good.
was the best set.
I don't think Nikki Glacier
I
was
love
the
her.
best.
I didn't
Bro,
watch
did you
it.
finish it?
I finished it now.
The
Definitely.
guy that finished and said it was like King Kong and something Kong and something called had sex and they had the guy that destroyed and
Yeah.
the show. That's the guy. That was the best.
Yeah.
Nikki Glacier was.
I didn't watch it.
No,
I
you
only
need
saw
to
the
watch
Kim
it.
Kardashian.
The guy
viral part.
destroyed
I love that his tall.
everybody.
His tall teammate that they used to say
Gronk?
is Rita Gronk. So me no, it's
Me
not
no,
real
no
money.
real money. No, that's not real money.
Me no, it's not real money. Just fucking.
You know why they're roasting Gronk? Because Gronk is on a TV show and he always acts fucking stupid.
They say those are
But
brain
Gronk was
cells.
good. Yeah, Gronk was good. Sorry. So Rema, I think whatever you say with Rema, I don't think there's anything inauthentic about it.
You don't think there's anything?
Inauthentic about
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
It's not anything false. This is
Yeah, I
who
don't
he
think
is.
it's a gimmick.
He's just
Yeah.
living his life. It's not
Yeah.
a gimmick. It's just living his life.
Yeah.
And one thing that you can see and say for real is he's 24 years old and he just had the biggest, like Adeayo, you two of you alluded to it. He just had the biggest Afrobeat song of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's a type of money that you have. There's a type of money that you have that you genuinely stop giving a fuck.
I know.
Genuinely.
sure.
And imagine that you had that money at 24. When I was 24, I was young, dumb, and fucking stupid.
I was
Same.
young, dumb, and broke, like the Khalid song.
Do you understand? When I was 24,
Same.
No, I was not dumb, right?
when I was 24,
No, I mean compared
What?
to yourself now, you were dumb.
the
Yeah.
the year I got called, I was 23. I can't imagine creating the biggest Afrobeat song of all time at that time,
Yeah.
bro.
Being young with so much money.
Let me tell you something. The things I would have done,
It's crazy.
the
crazy.
things I would have done at that time, because I'm calmer now. I'm still not that calm, but I'm calmer now. I know what I want. At the time, I didn't know what I wanted. I only wanted to do 3 things:
Which were?
have money, travel the world, and fuck baddies, bro.
I definitely know that was the third one. I was just like, I was going to say.
top of the line,
So
bro.
let's talk about this fucking baddies. What
What?
exactly? I really want to understand from men's perspective. What exactly does it do for you?
What does it do for you why
I don't.
why are you saying Rema is hot?
He's hot, but like I'm not saying I want to fuck him.
Fair enough. I'm not saying I want to fuck.
But you said you wanted to.
Yeah, but
Baddies.
I didn't say anybody's name.
Yeah, but still, like, but for you guys, it's actually a thing. It's
Yeah, it
actually
is.
a thing
You
for
guys-
most guys.
It is.
But why?
So my theory. I think human beings generally. I think the concept of, I'm not saying monogamy is bad. I'm just saying monogamy is it's a learned trait. It's not a natural phenomenon.
I don't think so.
I'll break it down for you. Some people might be, right? Some people might be monogamous naturally, but the concept of monogamy was created by the real estate industry.
How?
Thank you, because they wanted to sell homes. Our great grandfathers in Africa were not monogamous. Monogamy is not an Africa. It's not an African concept. It's not. Foreign civilization brought monogamy to us, and the reason why monogamy became a thing was because of real estate in foreign countries. They wanted to sell
I
homes.
disagree, because if
No,
you
it's
take
not-
it
it's
back
not-
to the
it's-
beginning,
it's not-
when
it's
God
not-
created Adam,
It's not about you.
he
okay.
made Eve.
I'm
He
not
didn't make
I'm not even
Eve
talking
and
about.
Evelina.
So is it
So
about
chill.
For
I'm not
Adam.
talking about the
or-
biblical perspective now. I'm Christian as well. Do you understand? I'm Christian. But what I'm talking about is facts. You can research it.
Facts
You
only.
can disprove me. Right?
See,
African men were not monogamous. African women were not subjugated. They were powerful before the white men came and the missionaries came.
yeah, I heard that.
They
for
were
the
not.
women. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard that.
African men, when they came and they started bringing Christianity into people, African people had religion. They had their own religion. Their religion doesn't say people should have one wife. They could have as many wives as they want, as long as you can take care of the wives.
See, what I think when it comes to these
please,
men
give
and
me-
women,
Give me a second, please.
I
Give me a
want, you're
second.
not hitting the nail on
Give
the
me a
head.
second. Give me a second. I don't think so that's the first part. The second part is for men, I think society still allows men to be polygamous or polyamorous or whatever. Right? Men still get a pat on the back for being polyamorous. The older you get is when you realize that this shit is actually not profitable. To be honest,
Stupid.
it's actually not profitable. When you get older, you realize that choosing one and just living your life is probably the best decision you ever make, right? But a lot of women can't do the same thing as men because society places female morality on a pedestal. And society emphasizes that you shouldn't do this because you are not going to find a husband. If your reputation gets out that your virtue has been stolen, you understand? It's in all cultures across the world. White, black, Asian, whatever. It's the same thing for women across all cultures. So, right? But the problem, you can also then see with liberalism that women also want to do the same thing as men. Like right now, a lot of the concept of wokeness is promiscuity amongst women. Like you can
Let's not get
you
into
can
this.
couch it as sexual liberation, but at the end of the day, if you criticize men and call it promiscuity, it is still promiscuity at the end of the day. So everybody wants it's I understand because it's a desire, it's
So
an
as-
insatiable desire. Give me a second. It's an insatiable desire thing, right? So I don't the idea of men fucking baddies is a preeminent thing that men are just following. It's a natural thing. It's not because you are trying to, how do I put this?
Feel good about yourself.
Yeah, it's just because. And another thing is, once you get to a level as a man, you don't even have to look for it. It's going to come to you. So if you don't have the discipline to do it,
are you saying is it true or
like there's that like
yeah,
there's that.
so if you don't have the discipline to actually say no, yes, you are going to keep doing it because you have money and you are stable. And the sad part about life, my friend who shout out to go that got married, that got married in December. He says it's the theory of 1,000 men. There's 1,000 men for every 10,000 women. And the sad part is women are more than men.
But still, like there's just this the way he said it, like, oh, I just wanted to make money, I just wanted to travel, I just wanted to fuck bad bitches. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. It's like, what exactly is it about? Like, it's still the same. Like, anyway,
it's not the same.
On.
It's not the same. Well,
it's still the same. It's like you already said, like there's nothing
physiologically.
There's, like,
but it's a whole. I don't want to sound denigrating. I get that's what you're trying to say essentially, right? It's like it's still the same whole.
Yeah.
But it's not the whole. It's the person.
Still, I don't get it. Because like you will hardly hear a woman say, oh, I just want to make money, be with all the different men. Like we just
women are saying it now. Women are saying it now.
Nah, it's not.
Women are saying it now, and they're making whatever men can do. Women can do. That's the trend of the day.
It's not authentic. But I don't want to get into this boy and girl conversation. Okay. Let's just move on.
So, what's your theory? I'm listening.
My theory on
you were about to contribute to this conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you were talking about the like older guys, like our forefathers, like and stuff. I was going to say that I think that polygamy didn't come from a real, like monogamy didn't come from a real estate thing, like you said.
It does come. You can do your research.
I was going to say that I think it came from the part where men saw women more as properties instead of persons. So like for them, having a certain woman or a certain kind of woman did something for their male ego. Like, so it was more about looking at us from a lens of property.
That, like the concept of monogamy?
The concept of polygamy. Okay. That's what I think. And I think that that's wrong.
So the more women you had, the more...
The more of a man you felt like you were.
I mean, the more of a man society felt you were. Well, as a matter of fact,
the more respect
if you had a lot of wives, it was viewed that you had the wealth to take care of them.
Yeah. I mean, things fall apart. I mean, it was there.
I'm just glad that we're done with that phase.
Are we?
We're trying to be. We're trying to be.
In a world where women, did you see someone say that I don't mind being his fifth wife to Farooq Oreagba?
Probably just catching cruise.
It was?
Yes.
Okay. You will
just
see.
Catching cruise. It's not that deep.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
It is what it is. Just
okay.
People do things because they can, and I mean there's never been a good reason to do anything. Men want to sleep with a lot of women because they can't sleep with a lot of women. Statistically, it is in their favor.
Societally, culturally, it's in their favor.
Yeah,
society also pampers men for doing it.
They get a lot of passes for being promiscuous. Women don't get a lot of passes. There's not a lot of scrutiny into the sexual issue of men. Like, so society has made it easier for men to to be hosts than
to be promiscuous.
Yeah, for women.
Call it what it is.
Men just get back into order. It's not doing anything
and
for you.
your women.
Like you can make, like some people make a case, like Tony is like trying to say, possibly maybe trying to say that, like society, for example, like in terms of conditioning of a man, like the way you grow up in the African or let's say in the Nigerian society, like your social conditioning already makes it seem okay for you to be a hoe as a man. Like it might not be morally justifiable.
I don't think it's the same.
It might not be morally justifiable.
What do you think? What do you say? You don't think it's this?
Like I think it has changed now. It has eased off a bit now.
People think things change, but they have not changed. There's still an 18-year-old girl is dating an 18-year-old boy in uni and still wants the 18-year-old boy to pay her bills.
When we say these things, how sure are we?
It's not how sure are we.
It's not about the loudest voices on social media.
I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking about life, real life.
And I'm saying from my own, like there are 18-year-old girls with 18-year-old boys who understand that we are still teenagers and growing. It's the truth. It's actually the truth. It's the truth. Like, but you guys are so quick to say, oh, 18-year-old girls want an older man to sponsor her or want the boy. No, there are a lot more 18-year-old girls who are just still enjoying with their even 17-year-old boyfriends and just enjoying being young.
Let me break something down. I don't disagree. I see what you're saying, right? I think you make a good point. And I'm going to back it up with facts and stats again. There was a report that I read about 2 or 3 years ago on what's the name of that platform that folded up, the big one, BuzzFeed. I think I read it on BuzzFeed. Yeah. Right.
BuzzFeed doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, BuzzFeed. I think BuzzFeed folded up or something, or maybe they cut lots of their stuff. I can't remember. Actually, I heard some bad news from them. And the report was that Gen Z was more interested in relationships than we. Are you Gen Z?
No.
Okay. That Gen Z was more interested.
I'm not millennial either.
You are millennial Z.
Zillennial.
So that's what it's called?
Yeah.
What year? 96?
No. I will not be announcing my age like this now.
Just say it now.
Don't worry.
Nah, I don't understand.
What's that word? Only they don't put dates on women and wine. You know?
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm sure not announcing my age.
It's fine.
I beg you.
Anyways.
What was it? So what I
Gen
was
Z were
saying,
more interested in relationships.
Gen Z was more interested. Gen Z, they seem more interested in relationships for like other gratuitous things, like because they want to create couples content, fear of missing out, all of these things, right? And there is more PR for relationships now amongst young people. Like,
like couples
sounds like you did it.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Are you
I would
sure?
have done it if I wanted to, but I didn't.
Yeah, couple content.
So couple content, all of these things, there's more great PR for relationships now. There's more women saying, I'm just a girl.
But we've always just been girls.
You wanted to fight men at some point, but okay. I'm just a girl. You know, all of these things, right? But at the end of the day, even though they are more interested in relationships, it's still not the rule of the minority. It's still a general rule thing. And the general rule, if more than anything right now, even though like 5 years ago, stats were revealing that a lot more women were like maybe not as interested in like maybe coupling up or like settling down. A lot more men were not, and I think now it's men that are not because they don't see the points. Because now liberalism has made women not be what they think women should be. There's still the concept of hypergamy across the floor. The concept of hypergamy, which suggests marrying up, right? And it's more prevalent amongst women. Some men are doing it, but it's more prevalent amongst women. Women marry up.
But you're trying to make it sound like it's a bad thing. If a woman
I'm not
doesn't
saying
marry
no.
it's a big problem for her.
So you know that?
Absolutely, I know
Okay.
that.
But
and you know that too. I'm
I can't
talking
speak
about
for
dealing
women.
with a man's fragile ego.
I can't speak with
If the
for
guy is
women,
not
no.
up, you're not going to be happy.
I
there.
can't speak for
Don't
women.
go into that.
So that you agree with that?
It's safer.
So you agree?
Yes, it's safer.
Okay. So then why were you arguing that?
But I'm just saying, find your person instead of the man meeting 3 or 4 or 2 even.
Okay.
That's my own point.
Okay. But the point still remains that if hypergamy, you are saying is you are endorsing it, and every woman knows, doesn't that defeat the fact that an 18-year-old girl or a 19-year-old girl will stick with a 19-year-old boy?
Doesn't that enact the fact
Doesn't that defeat the fact that a 19-year-old girl is going to keep sticking with a 19-year-old boy?
But she can't be. It doesn't. She can't be. These people my world as a teenager is not my world now. These people are together and they're having fun. It does exist.
They are not.
Melanie. It does exist. Trust me, it exists.
Sarah.
It exists.
Can we move
Trust me,
past
it
this?
exists well.
Can we move past
Let's
this?
move
It
past
exists
this.
just as much as the other one.
Let's move past
But
this.
yeah, let's move on. I don't want to talk about
okay.
this.
Shout out to everybody.
You are wrong.
I think at the end of
Let's
the day,
move
right,
past
everyone needs to, like, you need to grow up in your own definition of grow up. That's
True.
what I understand. I feel like growing up for people differ. I think right now,
The reality is.
Yeah, and I think we are at our generation. By our generation, I think possibly maybe a bit of millennials, 35 and under, like 35 to like 25.
I think millennials is 1981, 82.
Yeah, I'm just
to
like millennials that are
96.
35 and
Yeah.
6 to like 25.
Yeah.
I think we're like more infertilized compared to our parents, and I think it's
We
economically
are?
driven. Yeah, I think we have people who are 27, 28, they still not been able to get good job, decent jobs, live a decent life, and take on the responsibility that will actually
Plus
make
there's a
them
Nigeria
act their
part to
age
it
because
too.
of that economical factor. And some still live with their parents, and so this kind of things doesn't actually like force you to grow up when you're supposed to grow up. And so it's now going across, I don't say across board, but you get to see like men acts even across both genders, but act younger than they should. Someone is 31, 32.
It's
and
actually
still acts
it's a
like
pandemic.
child,
Actually,
and
it's a
you're
pandemic.
still acting like like you cannot have
pandemic.
you can't communicate properly. You can't apologize properly. You're still trying to be, trying to be cool. See, like I'm not saying it's wrong to be cool. I'm just saying like you're still obsessed with keeping up appearances, trying to like life comes at you fast. Before you know you, I think it was David Dean that liked to say that stuff. That life comes at you fast. Before you know you're 31, 32. Like retweeting
it's Gen Z that waiting for that
and arguing with them online. So it's like we're very infantilized as like our generation.
agree.
When our parents were at our age, they were getting married at 27 and having
And taking
houses
care of their
and
family
taking on
members.
real life
The
tasks.
men 27, not the women.
Yeah, I'm just saying like our parents, like the men, like
the
27, 28, they're getting married, taking on actual roles, economic building roles in companies,
Building
advancements.
homes.
Yeah, taking like
My father's older
We
brother
don't have
built
that.
a magnificent edifice in my hometown at 24.
yeah, we don't have that, and it's
Like
kind of
A
affecting
massive
yeah.
house.
But I think that's where Gen Z is lucky. Gen Z is also not like, you see like some Gen Z people doing so well for themselves at 22.
Because the
They have
opportunities,
that.
there's a democracy,
They have
democracy
that.
of opportunities right
Yeah.
now, and the entry point to wealth is much lower than it's
Yeah.
ever been at
But
any
we
point. in
actually
history.
have more people who can access those opportunities than those who can.
And also another
Really.
problem that I think is it's also selling people a dream that everybody can do it when everybody should. Like now,
You don't think
everybody's
everybody can do it?
no. What I'm trying to say is, it's giving people it's selling people a figment that they can all succeed as influencers.
Yeah.
Like because it's the in now, everybody's rushing to be
Influencing,
that.
Mm.
Whereas
Tech too and stuff
like
like that.
tech, media, everybody's rushing to what they think
And
to
people
be
still rushing
cooler.
to media.
Yeah, people are still
I mean,
rushing.
content creation is it's just
Yeah,
digital
that's
media now.
several
it's
versions
just
of media.
democratization
Yeah,
Quote
of
and
media.
unquote, what they think to be
Digital
cooler, the
media.
cooler job, right? The cooler jobs
Yeah.
they are running to.
Like even music,
So-
like working in music.
Working in
Yeah.
music is now cool.
It's cool. It's cool.
cool
and
now.
It's
every-
always
and
been cool. Now why are you saying now?
No,
cool?
no.
there was
it's
at
more
the-
appealing.
There was,
There's
at some
information
point,
now.
there was no money. There was no money in it.
And
there was not a
there was no
lot of
jobs.
money in it, and there was the jobs there were not going to pay you huge salaries.
Yeah, there are
The
jobs
majors
now.
were not always around. The majors left the country in the early to mid 90s because of economic instability and military rule. They left, right? And the companies that were around, all due respect to them, but people that were working for them don't exactly have the best.
And it's
stories
very
because
informal as well.
They were bootstrapping. They were not. The bosses were good, but I'm not sure the salaries were good. All those things. But now the majors are back. Everybody's
there's
aspiring to exactly.
You guys are
there's
chopping
more
money.
You can actually like you can earn a
Amen.
decent living. And, you can earn a decent living and everything. So I
Exactly.
think like across generation, as I was saying, like so it's really I think it's very difficult for people to to find someone they can like. Maybe someone who is putting themselves out there and say, okay, I want to connect with a partner. I'm looking for a partner, and then you keep going across different people. You keep meeting different men. You keep wondering what's happening. Like there are a lot of men, but like there are a lot of men, there are a lot of women, but there are very limited options in terms of what you actually want. And
Because people are
and
mad
what
out
it is.
there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and so again, it's men has that past, that societal past to be hoes, and I think right now it's more elaborate right now, self because
It is.
I think it is because, say for example now, women are like women know what they want. So like a woman who knows what she wants and she wants a career man, good looking, career driven, doing well for himself and stuff like that. And a lot of women
Every
are-
woman wants that.
yeah, they're kind of like leveling up.
You
to
make
be
it
able
sound
to-
like every man doesn't want a career-driven, good,
Not really.
whatever woman.
No,
Not
I
really.
mean, but that's not even the point,
Not
right?
really.
That's not the point. And like,
But okay.
if a lot of women are like, more women are trying to like,
A lot of men are trying to marry women that don't have career, and will just sit at home and bear children. That's
Yeah,
what
I mean,
a lot of men are
that's-
trying to do.
that's what
It's the
some
truth.
people, that's what some people want. some people accept some people want.
Do you
someone
see
who's
the
doing well.
trend? Do you see the red pill content floating online that degrees make homemaking and having children make you more valuable than degrees? Crazy shit is happening. You need to start reading things online.
I mean, it's not. It's
You need to listen
different-
to.
different
You need to
strokes
listen
for
to more shit.
different folks. Yeah, but as I was saying, so men like, so maybe there's like a demography of men that are appealing to more women, successful, good looking, have it together. So, for example, let's say they are like quote unquote Yahoo boys who has money and stuff like that.
You're talking of men who have it together. And you're calling Yahoo boys. Talk about proper men.
I'm trying to give a context. I'm trying to give a context.
Wait, Adeayo, do you live in a bubble?
But what? Well, he's talking about responsible men here, and he's calling Yahoo boys. Why?
He's not talking about responsible men. He's talking about men that have the means.
They have the means and they weaponize it, both responsible and irresponsible. For example,
do you think all women care the source of someone's wealth?
I mean, they are a group of
I don't want to talk about this men and women thing. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm just saying the group of people.
Let's move on. But I don't want to get.
Yeah. So basically,
don't
like,
mention Yahoo boys. We're talking serious.
I'm just saying, like,
talk Yahoo boys.
I'm saying, like, even when it comes to them, like, just when it comes to them, they are type of women that they are appealing to.
It's a different market.
They are appealing to a particular type of women. That those are the kind of men they go for.
Adeayo,
we acting like it's like a lie.
It will shock you. A lot of the women that you think might not be interested are genuinely very interested. I don't blame them. Like, someone was arguing with me one time and said that, sorry to cut you short, Adeayo. Someone was asking me one time and said they have a problem with women that sleep with men for money, all of these things, and that the women that get rich and all of that. I'm like, I see the moral problems with it, but times are hard. And the problem is there's a market for it.
Yeah.
There's always been a market for it. And the markets will never run dry.
Yep.
Right? And because there's a market for it, and there's a girl somewhere who thinks her life is going to be easier by just opening her legs, I don't want my daughter to do it. I don't want someone close to me to do it.
It's reality.
But it's the reality. I'm not going to shame you. The only problem I'm going to have with you is if you now do it finish, you get rich, and you now come online and start doing aspire to require, and then I work for my money. Don't come and start doing that fake shit.
To come out and say, oh, I fucked for my money.
Keep quiet. Go live your life.
Actually interests me.
And be wealthy. Go live your life. Don't come and lie to young women and sell them fake dreams, because you are not selling them dreams. It's not working. You are telling me that you went to go and do a BBL in Bahamas that costs 100,000 because you are writing books. Are you joking? But how many people bought the books?
Let's move on. Can we move on? I don't want to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go on a break. Everything you miss on the break is going to be out on Monday on all streaming platforms where you get your podcast. Google, YouTube, everywhere you get your podcast. Still with me here, Sarah the Cera. Sarah the Cera? Sarah the Cera.
You can't say it.
And Adeayo Adebi.
Shout out to Shiva.
She was working.
Adeayo Adebi, our resident critic, Mr. Facts Only.
Yeah, I do more than
this episode was still brought to you by Chivas Regal. We're back. Still with me here is Adeayo Adebi and Sarah the Cera, my eminent co-host for the night. While Melody is AWOL. When you see Melody,
enjoying her life.
See her at the airport, collect her money. See her in Nigeria,
she brings some rants.
You see her in SA, collect her money.
Rants.
This episode was still brought to you by Shiva. It's still being brought to you by Chivas Regal. It's good.
It's good. Yeah. So as I was saying, I said so now, like, in the pool of those dateable men, I'm going to attract like a bigger pool of women. They're now weaponizing that, which now make them shitty. Yeah. So now we now have like quite shitty men from the pool of dateable men.
And
so actually
shitty men don't even have anything to lose, because when they are done with their madness, they still pick another good girl and say,
yeah. So I think it's difficult to not see that way. But I think this is the last thing I said about this women stuff.
Honestly, I'm
you
tired.
fell in love.
Trust me.
You fell in love with a woman and you decided to not she falafolo.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You. But anyway.
So you think there are more decent men out there than women? No.
Men and women are equally trash. But that's not the conversation that you want to have. I agree with you. There's a lot of trash men out there. I agree with you. Just because of the things that I hear from some of my friends, some really crazy shit is going on down here.
Especially from men you don't even expect.
It's not even that. It's just the stories that I'm hearing from my friends. And some of the stories is, I think the one thing that I really don't like is lying. You're just lying. You want something else. You're lying that you want something else. I don't like that, personally. Whatever you want, however it makes you look, say it. Right? And there's a lot of my friends, as you can imagine, I'm 31 this year, when I'm 32 in July. A lot of my friends are either late 20s or they're in their 30s already.
Yeah.
A lot of them are older than me, that they genuinely want something and their time is still getting wasted. That shit is very frustrating. Yeah. Maybe I'm biased because they are my friends that I love, I guess. Maybe.
Like your friends, are you talking about men or women?
Women, right? That I might be biased because I love them and I know them, right? And I don't know what they're like in relationships, but I know them and I vouch for them to an extent that they're solid babes, right? So I know that I love trash women out there. I'm trash men out there. But for a lot of my masculine friends, my male friends, there's a lot of wild women out there. Wait now. The problem is just that men don't tell their stories as much as women do. That's the sad part. There are some stories that I hear about things and I'm like, huh? Like, I can't lie to you, in the last 2-3 years, the wildest cheating stories I've heard
from women
in relationships are from men, and it's about their girls cheating on them. The wildest ones.
But then those men that they're see this, I don't feel bad when men complain about women cheating on them.
I
promise you.
Why though?
And just wait.
Zero emotion.
Why?
I don't know why. Because you guys don't have the moral standing to. I don't feel anything now, when women cheat on men. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And that's part of the problem.
So
right?
like
Because now your morality.
I wouldn't encourage it. But I'm just saying, like, when I hear these stories,
it's even subjective to individual anyway.
I don't support it. Neither will I like promote it. But I'm saying, when I hear these stories, like when a guy is complaining about how a girl did this, and in my mind, not in my mind, if it's my own friend, I would say, but you call at least me, maybe your guy. I know your G say you did.
Okay, but wait,
so why suddenly why are you acting like your world is over? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That the guy was.
That's what I'm saying.
The things
why you acting like your own world
but
is
the problem
over?
is the places where you don't have the context, you want to project the same
that's
reality.
the issue.
That's your problem. Now, you got caught there.
No, I didn't. Well,
some of the like. I know a friend of mine that seriously in love, all of those things. The girl cheated, lied that she got raped, caught an STD, and later was saying like some really crazy first class stories, and stories where someone is in a relationship. I'm seeing them with a celebrity, and I'm looking at.
But she could just be hanging out now.
Okay.
It's possible.
She could just be hanging out now.
Okay.
With her fave.
Okay. And I'm like, so I don't like this infantilization and canonization of women. I don't. And what I like is that a lot of feminists also don't like it, because you are saying that women are not capable of bad behavior. That's what we're essentially saying, and that is not true.
I'm not saying that.
That's not what
I'm not saying that.
I'm just thinking statistically,
we
it's
just
very
have
possible.
more men
I am
out
not.
there
I don't
being
think that.
stupid.
I don't think there are more men. I don't think there are more men there. I think the story of men get told a lot, which is understandable, because for a lot of men, the stories that they go through is a shameful thing to them. Do you understand?
I get
With
you.
the men,
I do.
the women can tell their stories because it's a lot more acceptable.
But why is it acceptable? Because men are fucked up so much.
I don't think so.
Check it. When a woman
This is the last
complains about a
women man
guy,
Yeah, when a
truthfully,
man
yes.
cheats, it's enough.
When a
a
woman
woman
complains
cheats,
about a
it's
man,
abnormally,
like it's exactly, it's like okay, sorry it happened to you, but it's what it is. But when a woman does it to a man, it's a big deal, because that's not.
It's not
abnormally,
it's
not-
Yeah.
It's not about it
maybe not
being a
abnormally,
big
but
deal.
it's not
It's
normal,
about
yeah.
it not being spoken about enough because of the stigma. That's it. Nigeria has the highest rate of paternity fraud in the world after Jamaica. How many stories have you heard personally?
I have not
Exactly.
Not a lot.
Do you understand?
See, I'm not trying to deny that there aren't bad women out there. Don't miss that.
Give me a second. It's not about, like, if we have if we have the second highest rate of paternity fraud in the world, that speaks to a lot of moral bereftness. Does that make sense?
It does.
And I'm not saying I don't like, it's just a canonification that is not real. It is not real. It is not real because I'm not even sure it aligns with what women should be, because now the moral pedestal that you're putting women on still continues, because you want to believe that men are the only ones that are capable of these things.
That's not what I
No.
said.
Give me a second. The tweet that Adeayo sent to me was that there are a lot more quality women than men. I don't agree with that either. I don't. There's a lot of trash women out there. And the problem is just that a lot of women think they are the shit. And life always proves everybody right or wrong. That's the problem. Life. The only thing that will humble everybody is life. Do you understand? Because bad behavior is bad behavior. Bad behavior. If you don't change the bad behavior, you will keep jamming it.
See, I get you. This point you are making, it does make sense. However, the point still remains that when it comes to the numbering, we just have more better women
How
out there
do you
than
know?
men.
What's your number?
First of all, we have more women than men. So let's that's the end.
Yes.
Makes it,
So first of all, we have more women
I
than men.
agree.
So that ends the conversation.
But what's your
Moving
sample
on.
size?
I don't have one.
You can't just say moving
I
on
don't-
because
I don't have-
even within
moving
your
on.
friends, if you use your friends like your friendship circle or
Yeah.
as a case study, you possibly agree that there are more decent women than
Absolutely,
men.
not possibly. I'll absolutely agree.
If I do the same
friend,
thing, I don't have a lot of female friends anyway, but if I'm going to use the ones that I've known
I am
from
not
school,
Listen,
I'm going to
you
say
don't
the
have to
same
make me
thing.
an enemy because I don't want to
Shout out
agree
my
to
friends.
you.
But why are you being so dramatic?
Because you can't kill my reality. There's a life that I experience that is different from yours.
Whatever it is, we know that there are
You
shitty
don't have to
women
be
out there, and we know
passive-aggressive.
there are shitty men out there.
Exactly. That's what we should be agreeing on.
I agree on that.
But
However, when it comes to the numbers, we have more better women out there. But let's move on from this men and
What's your
women
status? What's your
conversation.
statistics?
Moving on.
Where
Motolani.
did you bring your statistics?
Please, I'm not
from?
Melody. Moving on.
No, where did you bring your statistics?
Moving on. Please,
I'm
I
going
don't
badges
have
melody.
this time now. Please.
Where did you bring the statistics?
Movie,
from?
don't worry. Let's
No,
move
I'm
on.
asking a question.
I agree. Okay, you win.
No, she's just like there are
You
more
win.
women than men in the
You
world,
win.
so
It's
that
okay.
makes
Let's
it
not. The fact
that
that he doesn't
increases
want
the
to
chance.
understand,
chances.
okay.
Hey, it's not
Like,
about me not wanting
it's
to
okay.
understand. Say from your perspective. I said.
All right.
We're talking about Farooq Oreagba.
What do you call his son name?
Farooq Oreagba.
Oreagba. That's his son name.
That's his name.
Oh,
Shout out to him.
That's
Oreagba,
what
the friend of
Did
the
you
old.
guys think? Do you guys
Friend of
think
The friend of the old.
friend of the what?
Oreagba.
Agba means old.
Elderly.
Okay.
The wise one, or so to say.
Wise one. Agba could also mean
Agba
cool-
Bola.
Yeah.
How much
Agba
is
could also mean
Big
like
baller.
senior. Someone that is better at doing something.
Okay.
Do you guys think they put influencer marketing behind that?
Behind him.
What end? I never understand.
Maybe
this
at the
thing.
beginning, no. But I think eventually headed there. Because why am I seeing his baby picture with a cigar now? Why was I seeing videos of his interviews? Like,
At the start, I don't think they did.
yeah.
But as the conversation started going, it felt like they were recycling the same caption.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt.
Yeah.
It felt exhausting for me. Like, okay, the man did.
To be honest, that shit was lame.
The man did look.
Fuck!
The man looked
Yeah, I couldn't
nice.
hate on it though. I won't lie.
The man
I couldn't
looked
hate on it
nice.
either.
Yeah, I
It looked
couldn't hate
really
on it.
cool. It was ice cold. And yeah, I
hate on
appreciate
it.
it. And
My
move
favorite
on, but I
woman
just
was
get,
that
social
was that
media
woman that
is
wore D&G
obsessive.
glasses.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
No,
Yeah.
that man was my
That
favorite.
woman that wore D&G
I
glasses.
saw the woman.
Bro, when I saw the price of the D&G glasses,
I think it's $1,000.
at $950.
$950. But this person, someone posted $950, and I think Mr. Semota posted
Oh well.
on down of $1,000.
I fuck. Well, the sad part. So Farooq Oreagba, shout out to you, sir, wherever you are. I also heard it's a cancer survivor.
Yeah, I heard
Bone
that.
cancer.
Big deal.
I heard he just got the
Think-
tattoos as
Yeah,
well.
I got it at 50. Like, imagine if
It's
you-
50.
Yeah, I think in his 50s, it's over 50.
It's 150.
Yeah, it's over 50.
Yes.
Can't you, bro?
Like,
Single man.
yeah. I know he's a middle-aged man. I just don't know.
I just really agree. I love the fact that it was celebrated. I love the fact that we are not selling all of our culture to white men, at least.
Yeah.
You know, and shout out to Nii Fagbemi, is that his name?
Yeah.
The photographer guy that
there were
covered.
so
I think
many
he
this
was the one that covered it last year.
Yeah, exactly.
That just made the
That,
cultural
yeah.
preservation that happened last year with him is what expanded and exploded the content this year, in my opinion.
The marketing world, that's like limited.
I don't think
potential.
they spent money on marketing. I think because he did it last year, people just rushed it this year.
A lot
Yeah,
of
I'm saying like if
photographers were,
Ogun State
hustling
government
to
put some
bring out
money
the-
behind it, it's going to get huge.
So do you think that is it possible that it's Ogun State government? No, but let me say that. Do you think it's whoever was sponsoring the event that put some money on influencers for the Farooq Oreagba content? to
No,
go
I
viral?
don't think so. No, I don't think
You
so.
think he was the one doing it
I think
himself?
what happened with Farooq happened organically. And
Initially.
they took advantage of it.
Who though?
Probably his guys. I don't know. But his PR team or something. Like, he's a big man now.
I think
He
it's
works with-
but who benefits from it? What is his business with going viral? What does he have to do with it?
Well, I saw
I don't know,
content
he
about
might
the
have
fact. I mean, I saw
socialite
there were people
ambition.
who were saying that. Do you guys see that post where people were saying that Goldberg should sign him and stuff? Like, I saw a lot of
Goldberg
tweets
can
and-
pay his money.
I
But
saw a lot
okay.
of tweets like that.
I
saying,
think
Goldberg
he
should-
might have socialist. I say socialite ambitions. He wants to be a socialite,
Yeah.
and this
I get it.
This kind of like gives him that like
That's-
position in
That's
to want
the
to like if he
currency.
shows up somewhere, you know, when like those kind of people Ovation used to cover their events and stuff like that. It's kind of like positioning for that. I never thought about it in terms of like
Me too,
like
I
there
never
was
did.
it got inorganic at some point. Me, the way I see it, I thought it got obsessive at some point and it got irritating. But it's not new.
What
Like,
exactly was irritating you?
like
It was-
People were just excited.
It became
No,
a,
like,
it,
it's
it became
okay,
a, it
like,
became a
it's-
cliche within
it's
a few
cool.
hours.
The man killed it. Like, can we just appreciate him and
I just-
move on?
It became a cliche
It
within a few
became
hours.
obsessive when they started fighting each other over it and started insulting each other. And like I have insider
it
information
got-
is
it got-
single. Then somebody was saying,
Okay, so that
"Oh, why
that
you-
babe,
do you
that
think
babe
you have
that
a-
wait, that
a
babe that
chance with
posted,
me?"
I thought that was
that
a-
post
I-
that babe that
I-
posted
I-
that he
I
was
thought-
single. Was anything wrong with that?
I'm not
Let's
saying.
be honest.
I'm not saying.
Because I feel like people came at that girl with so much anger. Like, she was just like, sometimes I think social media has gotten so toxic to the point that you can't even have fun online anymore. Like, there's nothing wrong with her saying, "Oh, I
yeah,
heard that
it's
he's
not a big
single, you
deal.
girls." It's just look
What
and
do you
move
think?
on.
What she said. Okay, me.
Move on.
I think it's not. I think it was honest. Like, I think it was maybe inevitable because of the way social media is designed that they won't dig into his personal life. I think, like, if everyone was like
But
me,
even if
His
they
niece
did,
was
there's
tweeting a lot
nothing
on
wrong-
that day.
would
by
have
the way.
left it
Oh,
on
she
the,
was.
at the
I
picture.
didn't see it. See, even if he was like the fact that he was single, the fact that a girl said, "Oh, I insider info, he's single and whatnot," it's not a big deal. Guys, move on. But everyone was just trying to score cheap points with
It's
it and make it
social
look
media,
like
it's the
she
way-
was.
Why do you think that was the case?
I don't understand. The why is what I don't know.
You don't understand.
Yeah, like why? Like
Why
why
do you
can't
think
people
that's
have fun
Like,
online
why
anymore?
people are battering.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of it's just like a reiteration or a latest version of the gender wars that go
And
on.
that
That's
gender-
just simple.
anyway,
like,
Sha.
because now like it's the lady saying so insider information I had is single and is also stinkingly rich.
He works
then-
in finance.
Then
That,
rich
what was the problem?
That rich was an issue because they'd be like, okay, this is
Why?
I'm just like I don't give
It's
a fuck.
understanding the problem.
People just act. You just try to like get to like profile why people act the way they do. You have to like understand what's triggering them.
Understand what the problem
So
is.
that rich was triggering them because they felt like, oh, now you guys
Now
are
he's a
another
rich man.
man.
Now you want to update another man.
Yeah, you want to
Whatever,
date-
men are
so,
from-
like,
now
peop-
because he's rich, he's cool.
it's
I just
boring,
think that
man.
I
It's
just
boring.
exactly. I just think that people are crazy. But however, I would rather have as much as I think gender wars are stupid.
They're unnecessary.
They are
Maybe not
unnecessary.
stupid, but they're
They are
unnecessary.
stupid and unnecessary. But I would rather have the gender wars over the tribal wars. Now the tribal wars, that was
We'll
where,
get to the tribal
that
wars
was
in a
the
we'll get to it in a
disappointing
minute because that's where we are really going to.
Yeah, that was
Right.
disappointing.
So with the girl, let's be honest. I think part of my problem with social media is what a lot of conservatives used to accuse the liberals of. They're now guilty of it. Like the rightists, they're guilty of it.
Like what?
They accuse the liberals of being disingenuous, and now they are being disingenuous. Does that make sense? So the conservative culture was the most popular in the world at some point. Liberalism came to sort of right the wrongs of conservatism.
Yeah, and then they went too much.
And then liberalism came back because conservatism was doing too much, right? And liberalism
Started
then
doing too much.
started doing too
Yeah,
much.
just like
Right? Because
capitalist
it's
communism.
nobody's
Yeah.
fault. It's just the human condition.
Yeah.
And anything you give too much power to is going to abuse it.
Absolutely.
That's the problem, right? So what then had to happen was liberalism is now coming back because conservatism
yes.
is coming back because liberalism
Has
was
done
doing
so
too much,
Yeah.
right? And now conservatism is doing too much.
I don't think conservatism has gotten to too much.
Have
yet.
you seen red pill content? Bro, do you know the wildest thing on social media right now that blows my mind?
What?
Someone can tweet with their full chest that you raising a family is better than you earning degrees. That is insane.
But that's not doing too much.
What?
That's not doing too
No,
much.
like,
No. It makes you a better woman.
Okay, when you say you mean me as a woman.
No, that's what they're tweeting.
No, I
It
think
makes you. Someone will come out and say, "What's a woman earning? A woman becoming a homemaker and settling your family makes you a more valuable woman than getting degrees." That is like, I see that shit.
As
And I'm
bad
like-
as crazy as that is, I don't think that
yeah,
is
I think
too
I agree with
much.
Shira. It's like okay, it's like maybe
Yeah,
it's
that's
You don't
too
think
much.
that's too much?
No, I don't
between,
think
no,
too
I think
much.
Maybe
it's
I'm not as right.
stupid.
Maybe I'm not as.
I think it's stupid. It's trolling.
But
It's
yeah, I don't think
trolling.
it's
It's
too
stupid.
much.
I don't think it's
And-
trolling, no Adeayo.
I'm saying like they're trolling. That they are motivated
think
to
this is-
troll the leftist idea. That's what they are
Exactly.
doing.
Maybe
Yes,
not,
but
I don't think
it's
trolling.
too
I don't think trolling is the word that you're
Yeah.
looking for. But I get what you
Yeah.
mean.
So
Yeah.
now, why like in terms of like maybe being too much when you juxtapose it with liberalism is that like it's not active, like it's still passive and
It's
still
still an idea.
yeah, and it still fits into the general idea of conservatism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
already
point I was
existing.
trying to make.
Like
Yes.
when it comes to liberalism, like as long as like these people are changing genders, people are identifying as
That's
things
it.
that
Don't
doesn't
exist.
that doesn't exist before, like that things that didn't really happen, like things that is nothing that doesn't really make sense to a large collection of people.
But they want to force
conservatively.
everybody. I saw a man recently, which is another conversation that we're going to have, was he got a surrogate, a man, a transgender woman, got a surrogate.
She's a man now, but she was a woman. She was
No,
born
she
a
was
woman,
she was a man,
but now she's a
but
woman.
now she's a woman. I think that's a transgender woman. I think.
Yeah. No,
Right?
that's a transgender man.
No, I think that's a transgender
Oh,
woman.
that's a transgender woman. That's a trans woman. Yeah.
I'm walking.
That's a
off.
trans woman.
And so
my
it's,
flowers.
it's when it comes to liberalism, it's very active. It's very active. Like
is.
I have a friend in the UK who just like traveled and like he was talking about how you have to use inclusive language. Like ladies and gentlemen is being phased out and you have to use distinguished guests and stuff like that. Things that are inclusive of the men, women and the other
The world has gone
genders
mad,
that are
blood.
in between, right? So when it comes to liberalism, it's very active. They are actively trying to change ideas. Conservatism is just restating.
Yes.
Like if someone
So
said
that is not too
if,
much
if
for
someone say
conservatism. That's the point.
don't go to university, go to marry a husband, like okay, it's stupid in the context
Okay,
of
so you
modernization.
you guys are
but if you
telling
go
me-
back to it's happening all over the world.
So you guys
it's
are telling me
conservative
that the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
why
or
I'm
traditional,
shocked,
so to say.
the reason why I'm shocked by it is because the world became liberal. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
That's a
Yes.
fair point.
Basically, yes.
That's a
Basically,
fair
that's
point.
it.
But that's still insane.
Yes,
It's an insane thing to say. Bruh, it's an insane thing to say. Fam, I consider myself
Okay, let's
as-
pause. Let's start off with why do we think it's insane?
because you are limiting a human being's identity to what you want it to be.
Do you, as a person now, forget what the word says, as a person now, do you think that a woman in your house taking care of your children and the house is not more important than a woman with a degree?
That's a good
As
question.
a person.
That's a very good
Yeah.
question. I would like to think that who I am, I don't think I would want to marry a woman who's just satisfied with being in the house.
But
Just
do
trust
you
me.
know that being in the house is
It's a more
actually
rewarding experience.
Aside the fact that it's even rewarding, which it really is, because it is eventually the kids grow up and love you more. But besides that, do you know that it's actually a very stressful?
It's a job.
It's a job.
It's more than a job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. But
Because the truth is, if we're going to be very honest, the truth is, to be a thriving career woman, you have to, whether you like it or not, find a lot of assistance and help with doing your domestic duties
Family
as
work,
a wife.
yeah, and
You
that requires a
have
lot of
to.
support from your spouse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to. So I don't think that a conservative saying that is a problem. I just understand
So,
where they are coming
I
from.
am
Like,
not
it
even-
makes sense.
I am not even coming from the conservative or liberal arm, right? I'm coming from the concept of human. My concept is humanity. That's what I am. It's if there's
So
a,
in
if
humanity-
there's a thing as humanist, right?
That's what you are.
That's what I
So
am.
now let's leave it as humanity, right?
Right.
As a humanist, are we looking at it from an angle of you believe in God, right?
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I look at
I'm Christian all the way.
exactly. I look at the way life should be from the lens of the Bible. So forgive my bias.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't.
if
I'm
it
not.
comes
I'm not
that way.
forgiving you. It's valid.
Okay. So now let's look at the concept of a home
Yeah.
from God's perspective.
That's what God says. That's what God's idea is. But I don't think God is also against a woman that wants to chase her dreams.
Absolutely not. However, I don't think God is against a
So,
woman who
Who wants to sit at home?
exactly
But what we are saying,
not who wants to,
Yeah,
who
but-
has to.
Yeah, but what we are saying now is a lot of men think you don't belong in anywhere other than your home. A lot of conservative ideas. You don't. If you are not good enough, if you are not doing that, does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Like
However,
you are
I
not
can't.
doing your value.
So here's what I think, right?
Yeah.
What I get that statement.
Yeah.
However, I don't feel any emotion towards that. I don't feel any rage or anything towards
You're a
that.
woman,
I
I
just
get it.
believe no. I'm not unfortunately, as sad as it is, I'm not a homely woman. Like, I'm not into that.
You are not very touchy-feely or that shit.
Yes, I'm not. I hope I get to be, and people say when I have kids I will change.
So
I'm
you
looking,
don't have any maternal
I'm looking
instincts?
forward to it. But yes, I don't have that. However,
That's shocking.
it is. Yeah, I don't have
For
that.
you,
You
that's what I'm saying,
you would
yeah.
expect me to because of how, but like, I'm saying that here's how I feel. Like, when you say you are a humanist, I think I am too, but this is my own concept of humanism, right? When people make this kind of statements, is to pause, reflect, and understand where they are coming from.
I hear you.
It's not an issue. This is what you want, right? Find a woman that believes in this.
And a lot of
And
women
move
do.
on.
And a lot of women do.
And as a man, if you feel like you can't be with a woman who all she thinks about is the children and what you eat when you come back from work, there's so many
Find
other
yourself a
women.
woman
Find
that
a
can do it.
woman who.
No,
So let's all
Sarah,
just
Sarah,
let's all
Sarah,
just
Sarah,
feel. Let's just
it
all.
doesn't work like that.
I wish that's how the world was. That's my point.
So you are not wrong.
I just have
you are
my
not, Sarah.
point.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Adeayo, just give me like 2 minutes. You are not wrong. Does that make sense? But what you are doing is an idealistic viewpoint. Does that make sense? Where everybody gets to live and we're kumbaya, everybody gets
So
to...
this,
Do you
the
understand?
problem I have is people projecting their own opinions and their own perspective
Their biases.
on others.
So exactly, and that's what this tweet is, which is what you're not getting. The tweet says the value of a woman is more determined by how much she makes the home than the degrees she gets. So means if you are getting degrees, you are not a high value woman.
according to this person.
According to the theories that are flying around, that
this
a
is
lot
so
of young
now-
men
Can
are
I-
buying
can I ask
into.
you
This is what I want you to understand.
This is
For somebody
problematic.
like me. For somebody like me, so I don't. There's a lot of things I see on social media that people get riled
No,
up over.
I hear you.
That I don't understand.
Facts, yeah.
So
Facts,
you say
facts.
that, good for you. The girls that agree with you will go with you. Move on. Like, personally,
Yeah, but
that's
but then
doesn't
you have
bring
a
any
problem.
emotion
but
to
then
me.
You had a problem with a discussion that we're having earlier, which was still a theory, which was just still a theory.
Let
Which
me
was?
Let me add
Yeah,
something.
say something.
Right, you know why what you're saying is idealistic and it doesn't like necessarily work. I'll use like maybe economics to draw a parallel. For example, now capitalism is considered the easiest and the
Oshe,
capitalism
champagne and
is,
shivers in one night.
capitalism is considered the foremost way to create wealth for a
The most
community.
realistic.
the most realistic, the
Yeah.
most like the most,
Most practicable.
tested, trusted, practicable, right? So in a capitalist society, it's okay to have communist ideas of your own.
You have
But
to incorporate
when-
other things. Even.
Yeah, like
Feudalism,
but I
whatever.
mean if it becomes popular, it starts becoming a
problem.
way of life.
The
That's the
law!
thing, right? So,
The law!
yeah, I actually have a law degree.
The
So,
law!
You try not the law.
yeah, it's actually the
Yeah,
law.
both of you are the
Yeah,
law
so
now.
now that's the thing with ideas, right? When ideas become popular, they start becoming way of life, and when they start becoming way of life, they become it start becoming cultural and becoming the status quo. And when it start becoming the status quo, then people start losing what they fought for years. For example, now when someone say, "Oh, it's okay for women to be in the kitchen and that's where they should be," and now this person is a red pill movement. So red pill people, they have a lot of followers in terms of what they call incel men who are kind of like they're not masculine enough. They kind of like feel pathetic to themselves, right? Or that, but I don't want to go into incel men. Let me just say they have a lot of followers. Now, if these their followers follow what they say, it becomes a way of life, right? And now they now affect other people.
And now you're conscripting a lot of
you are
people.
now, so women are fought for the right for people to go to school.
To be free and have free will to do whatever.
Now,
it's
but
like
now,
the way the world is right now, we've gotten to this stage.
No, let Adeayo finish, please.
Sorry. So when those men and people believe in those things start affecting it, right? It becomes like women who naturally should even be willing to, should be able to make their own free will, they become subjugated. Now, not just the women they are married, their own daughters, they raise them like that. They raise them with an idea. It's now passed down. And that's why people now come up with counter ideas and fight it, right? And that's how philosophy has always been, from natural school to positivist school.
Everybody is fighting and countering something.
Ideas become
it never ends.
Like, it's not always as easy as say, okay, like green is yellow, and I'll be like, okay, fine. If green is yellow, if you say green is yellow,
can also be orange.
Go with it. That's like you go with yours. So it becomes that, like, if you say green is yellow today, you're going to wake up and see this thing tomorrow. So it becomes a way of life. It now becomes a problem.
No, so I was gonna say that I think the world has gotten to a place where one person's belief system cannot.
I like where this is going.
Wahala. One person's belief system cannot
cannot determine the entire world.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's where the world is now. So like, it really doesn't make any sense, aside the fact that you're hustling for Elon's checks or some likes and comments on TikTok, aside the fact that you're looking for some clout.
No,
online.
So it does become cultural. I'm going to give you an example.
Aside the fact that you're looking for some clout online, the truth is, when people say what they say, I feel like we know ourselves at this point. I just feel like as adults, at this, you should know what you believe in.
Yeah,
you
but
should
wait,
know what you believe in. Everybody
right?
Focus on what you need to do and don't pay these people any heed. That's
all.
It
doesn't work.
I wish that would happen.
So everything you are saying, everything you just said, 100, right? Fact.
That's how I'm actually operating in my world.
No. But you are one
That's
person.
actually how I'm actually operating in my world.
You are one. You are one
I
of
see things online and
Sarah,
I'm just like, why are you guys riled up over this?
You are one of 8 billion people, and of the 8 billion people, over 5 billion is under 19 years old, reportedly.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Even Nigeria, use Nigeria for example.
That's a lot of young people.
Of Nigeria are under 35.
That's a lot of young people. Do you understand? It's a lot. So, I think you make a very solid point, but I am not woke. I am not liberal, as you can tell.
I think I am.
I think
I'm in the right. I'm in the middle.
I think you're probably like center left, center right.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
Right. I'm not conservative either, because I see some thoughts and I'm like,
mine is that. It's not.
That's a problem.
I never seen that, right? Like conservative or woke.
I think I'm in the middle. I think I'm in the middle, but I probably tilt a little more to the right, like just a little more.
I don't know.
I don't because I don't think there's anything that's the right or the left anymore, in my opinion. I think there's just the far right and the far left.
Yeah.
And then everybody else that's reasonable is in the middle.
Yeah. Exactly.
But does that make sense?
I think too.
That's what I think.
That's what I think.
Why is it like in terms of ideas, right? Ideas, I think the ideas that can be dangerous and dangerous ideas must be shut down, or at least must be faced with counter ideas.
But a man who says that a woman without degree is not valuable, do you think that's a dangerous idea?
It is a dangerous idea to society. It is a dangerous idea that amples the progression of women.
That number one,
it is.
It's Sarah, you are not wrong. Let me just establish that first. Everything you've said, perfect sense, right? But the problem is indoctrination. Does that make sense? Indoctrination into ideas that might not be sustainable and don't serve people. Ideas that don't serve humanity for the longest periods.
Because I feel like when it comes to these statements, we have seen how it worked out for some of our grandparents and parents. And, well, at least speaking from my own side of Nigeria, right? Not to make this a tribal thing or anything. I hear you. But like speaking from my own side of Nigeria, you would see that where we're from, you train women to get married. I don't know about others. I'm talking about the eastern part of Nigeria.
I think everybody still wants to get married by choice.
No.
Culture,
Aside that,
by
but like
indoctrination,
we are
by whatever.
trained to get married. Like your parents who went from don't go anywhere by 400 level have switched to when are you bringing him home? How am I supposed to bring him home when I didn't go anywhere? Do you understand? Like,
Facts.
Yeah. So like we are trained.
And then they are going to your brother that's your age. They are going to hail him for having a girlfriend.
Exactly.
That's the one I don't get.
Exactly. So like I've forgotten the point I was going to make. Shiva.
Sorry.
See, the train to get married. The train women to get
We're
married.
saying something before that. Okay. Yes, I was saying that we're trained to get married, right? So like there are people who still believe in that sense, and the truth is
It's
it
okay.
works for
It's
them.
okay.
It doesn't erode that.
Like I have seen the benefit of this thought pattern.
So you are
Same
not.
way I have seen the disadvantages
I agree with you. I
of
agree
it.
with you.
However, I think where the world is now, there are too many experiences. There are too many experiences, not even from us, but from other people that we have seen, for us not to get riled up over this. It's just a thing of you they decide or you know they decide. Like me now, no man can tell me. I already said it. I'm not a homely person. I hope to be someday.
I'm shocked though.
Yeah, I hope to be someday.
You don't.
I mean,
you
I
don't
like
give
love
off-
and I like
you
everything.
don't give off that vibe. You
Yeah.
don't seem like it.
Yeah, I get.
This is a practical perspective. Like I want to get married. I don't want to get married. This and like we're talking about theories that become.
No, my point is, I'm not getting riled up over this. However, I can't marry a man who sees me from the lens of
You are only
just
valuable
exactly.
Yeah, but what?
So that's what I'm saying. You look,
Sarah,
using myself as an example,
Sarah.
it
So
should make
You are
sense.
not. You are one of, again.
You're not
You are one of
getting
8 billion people. I think that's what they are trying to say.
What?
And
Okay,
the problem
okay.
is, if you put that out enough, especially if. So I am also not about deplatforming people. I think it's a dangerous thing to do because you are not putting power in the hands of human beings to make the power of taking people's voices. I think it's a problem, right? I am not exactly about deplatforming. Does that mean I don't want to deplatform Donald Trump? I think it's an extreme case. I 100% I'll deplatform him, right? Right? There are some people that you need to deplatform. But I am not exactly. I don't know if that makes sense. It seems like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. If you understand, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Do you understand what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Trying to.
Exactly. Like I'm not for deplatforming people because it puts too much power in the hands of human beings to make material decision about the voice of people.
Yeah.
But there are some people that they are so problematic that you have to deplatform them. Does that make sense? Because if
It
you
does.
don't,
So-
it does a greater harm
So
to
I'm
humanity
saying that
than
this
that.
statement
Yeah.
doesn't seem to me like that much of a big deal for us to clamor for
and
deplatforming.
the reason
That
why
you
that
get what I'm trying to say
the-
now?
no, Sarah,
I'm
Sarah,
not
you are not
interested in
wrong.
deplatforming.
Like I get where you're coming from, but the problem is there is a lot of people. Like for you to be able to be out here doing your work daily, a lot of people fought for that to happen.
I respect
Does that make sense? Right?
Yes.
I hear you. Right? And then after they fought for it, another wave of people actually came. Some people died for this shit.
True.
Right? Now, if you are now trying to limit it to what a lot of people have fought for and died for, we are in the 4th wave of feminism. Some people call it 4.5, right, of feminism. I don't know what that means yet. I'm still researching it. Nobody has been able to make sense of it to me. Anyway, I look at it and I'm like, I am not identified as a feminist. I am not. By whatever
Well, why?
means.
When people say this, I want to understand why you don't believe in equality of
No,
sexes.
I don't think I am a man. I don't think
So you
I
don't
can
think-
be. I can't be.
Why?
I can't possibly be. That's a conversation for another day. Let's focus on
But
this one.
why?
Let's focus on this one.
I wish more people were like me when it comes to this feminism
Let's focus-
topic.
let's focus on
Because
this.
why?
Let's
We're
fo-
just human
let's focus
beings.
on this. Let's
If you're a humanist, you should be a feminist.
Shivers.
It's the truth.
Shivers. Wait.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Wait,
like, if you claim
no.
that you're a humanist, you should be a feminist.
I think the concept has become problematic, and you
So
understand
forget
what I'm
about
saying.
what other people
I
are
hear what
saying.
you're
I'm
saying,
saying
but
you look at
I don't
it
even
from.
think. I don't even think as a man. I don't think men can be fair. But we're delving into another.
It doesn't
topic.
really interest me.
I
just-
don't-
I
You
respect
sh-
the rights. and
I
interests
respect
of
the
other people.
rights
That
of
makes
what
me
you
a
need to
feminist.
be.
Oh well,
If
I'm
that-
good.
if-
You should-
Will I
you
call
should
myself
just-
one?
No,
Yes, simple as
exactly.
that.
You might not
Thank
call
you.
yourself one, but do you respect me as a person?
Look at
Yes.
what. Look at the conversation that I'm having right now.
That's it. So
I
we
respect
should
your right
we should
to
all
free will
be
and do what you want to
feminists,
do.
like
And do whatever the fuck you
Chimamanda
want.
said.
Yeah.
Now,
man.
the reason why that's not why that it's a problem is because it's eroding the very concept of free will. Because now you are conscripting and saying there's only one way to do it, and that's not free will. It's anti-free will. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. However, I feel like if we're going to actually talk about the pros and the cons of not seeing a woman as equal to you, note, we're not talking about a husband and a wife. Like I said, I'm Christian. So if I'm going to talk about the concept
Gang.
Yeah, completely. If I'm going to talk about the concept of a man and a woman from a home perspective, from the home as husband and wife,
I hear what you're
my
saying.
opinions would differ.
Yeah.
However, I'm talking in society, in life generally. I feel like if more men respect, I think men don't respect women.
I hear you.
And I feel like if more men respected women, a lot of things we're dealing with, we wouldn't be dealing with.
I hear you on that.
Like, we're just as human as, like, 5 plus 5 is 10, 7 plus 3 is 10.
How do
6
you know?
plus 4 is 10. Like, my point is we might be different from you, right? But our difference is what makes the world better. So respect me for
Facts.
that.
I
The
hear
same
you.
way I respect you for
And embrace
who
the
you are.
difference.
Let's embrace.
Yeah,
like,
but-
we are not the
but
same.
Sarah,
so let's embrace it and
Sarah,
respect
Sarah,
ourselves.
Sarah, I think the concept we should be promoting is the concept of free will. Does that make sense?
And I'm saying in the
No. Give me a second.
I agree
Give me a
with the
second.
concept
Give me a
of
second.
free
Give me
will.
a second. Give me
I
a
agree with the
second. Give me a
concept of
second.
free will.
The concept that we should be promoting is the concept of whatever makes you happy, do that shit. Does that make sense?
I agree with that.
Well, that makes you
However,
happy.
what
Let's do it.
unfortunately, I agree with that. I agree with free will. I agree with free will, but I just feel like
It's a
people-
dangerous concept because without the adequate controls, it can easily go out of. I hear
You've
you.
said it all.
But that's the human condition of it all. I hear you,
said
right?
it all.
You make a lot of sense, but I still think conscripting is a problem. But let's move on from this. We have spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
We are talking about tribalism because that Farooq Oreagba
that was the
conversation
disappointing part for me.
is a tribalism.
In fact, it's not even just from Farooq. I would say that, I mean, it's always been there, but let's not deceive ourselves. A lot of us, our parents are very much tribalist, even though they don't say it with their full chest.
They don't know.
I don't like to
A
talk
friend of
about
mine was
tribalism.
gisting me about the last election and how her mom casually told her that you're a child of Okonkwo and she's Yoruba just because she supported we know who exactly. So like
mention his
you
name
would
now.
never, what do you say?
Mention his name.
Yeah, Peter Obi. But like my point is I know her mom, right? But you would never expect that statement to come from her mom. So like whether we all like it or not, there's that tribalism thing there and we've actually been built with it. But the one that I do not like is when it comes to trivial matters. And the one that I do not support is when one person wants to feel like they are a victim. That I do not agree
Who?
with. Any of the tribes can claim today. Yorubas would claim that they are victims, and the Igbos are trying to do so much on them. The Igbos tomorrow could claim that they are victims, and the Yorubas are trying to. I don't think
I
there's
have
a
a very
victim.
interesting conversation.
I don't
for you.
think there's a.
So be what
I don't think there's a victim. I think that the game is the game at this point.
You don't think there's tribalism?
There is tribalism, but I don't think there's a victim in the war of tribalism. The other side is just as nasty as the other side.
I hear you on that.
what I can say about this whole tribalism
That's
thing
what
is
I
that
think.
I think it manifests because we've not addressed it at the core of it.
How do you
Nigeria,
address it?
because Nigeria should
Listen, you need to listen to me.
Nigeria is glossing over things that, like, if I use the word
There's a
trauma,
lot of historical context
there's a lot of stuff that have gone on, a lot of terrible things that have happened
over the past 60 years.
like from the civil war, even before that, even in terms of not just even between like the civil war that pitted Nigeria against Biafra, but even within cluster of environment, like even communities, a lot of stuff that have not been addressed, right?
and
There's
and other smaller issues, intrastate, location,
yeah, so
interlocal
it's not.
governments.
It's so when it cannot manifest at, like, when the only time tribalism gets to manifest at the national level is during election, and after whoever wins now gets to.
So I'm saying
no, what
even
I'm
with
saying-
this
can you just let
election
me
is
finish?
bad. However, what I'm saying that I don't have
I'm just trying to like make a
Sarah,
point, right?
let's
So-
just listen.
So when like you get to put your own people there, right? Okay, so that's now like a status quo kind of tribalism. A tribalism you guys like we have become accustomed to. When Buhari like is 8 locust years and he now surrounded himself with northern cronies.
Yeah.
Now that like it was embarrassing and it was disappointing, but no one was losing sleep over it. When now we have a Yoruba president, and he has surrounded himself with a lot of Yoruba people as well, right? I don't think anyone is going to lose sleep over that. It's become like
The status
ingrained
quo.
natural-
What's
like
to be expected?
Yes, it's now tribalism to be expected. So now, since that is no longer shock people, tribalism is now coming off in the trivial things,
So
and
this
now
is where I have
now
a
it is now
problem.
becoming problematic. And I'm saying like the reason why we are seeing it in trivial things is because we are not addressed it in the bigger things, and that is the issue. So me, my own tribalism doesn't move me
Can I say
because I've
something?
experienced Nigeria.
Can I say something?
I grew up in
True.
the north,
I
and
know.
I know Nigeria.
Can
so
I say something?
I grew
no,
up in
it doesn't
the
even
West.
bother me or
Are you
interest me.
You're an Igbo babe.
Exactly.
Can I say
There.
something?
I schooled in Lasso.
Can I say something?
Say.
Can I say something? Have you guys followed the story of the First World War and the Second World War?
Yeah.
The reason why the Second World War happened was because there was unforgiveness, paranoia, enmity, distrust from the First World War. That's the only reason. The Second War, it was built on the back of a bigger topic, but the entire reason why that topic snowballed into a bigger issue is because of these things that I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, there's a tragic history in Nigeria, which is what Adeayo is trying to say. You are right as well. It's not to say you're not right. Is Nigeria's history is littered with things that would not make us trust each other, things that are built to make us distrust each other. When we got the independence, the first republic, the first coup, the very first coup,
Yeah. That's January 15, 1966.
the very first coup was where a lot of this shit was planted. The very first one.
I think our tribalism issue started before the coup.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
But
since amalgamation,
that
we
one,
shouldn't
Yeah,
I
be one
agree.
country.
yeah.
That's it. I agree with you, but that was a moment where there were now active participants who had power to do something about
It became
it.
politicized. It
you
became
understand?
ingrained
That-
in the national
to do something about
spirit
it.
of
I think,
Nigeria.
I think Nigeria was created with this in mind.
No, it
Yeah.
was
That's
created.
my own.
No, I think
unpopular
Nigeria was
opinion.
created for convenience,
I
economic
think
convenience,
economic convenience.
and
yeah.
However,
governing
there-
convenience. But you know when it,
However, there was some weaponization of tribalism.
That's
No,
not the
fa-
fault.
no,
of,
it's not
that's
the-
not the
it's
fault
not
of the
tribalism,
people that
it's
wanted Nigeria to
favoritism.
work. It's now favoritism from the people that then snowballed and became tribalism.
no, it was like when Nigeria was brought together. Like I don't think like
It was an economic convenience
Lugard
thing.
was a tribe. It was
No.
being tribal. It was
He was
favoritism.
thinking
But
about-
that
He was in
favoritism-
Sudan. He was used to the northerners,
Yeah.
and he favored them.
So, but that favoritism led to the tribalism issues.
Not really.
no, I wouldn't
not
say
really.
that.
No.
I would say I
So
think
the reason why the tribalism, we were never meant to be a country,
at all.
Absolutely.
right? That was the first problem. The second problem now is we're not a country. The people that are meant to be working together don't trust each other. And then the first school just underscored whatever undertones of what that was, right? It underscored it in a way, and then it made it pronounced. Now, the people that participated in that felt like these people are not to be trusted. I don't want to mention tribes. These people are not to be trusted. These ones are
I
not to be
think we can
trusted.
mention
Oh,
tribes.
it's
We
there.
can.
Maxwellian wrote about
let's
it.
mention
Really.
tribes.
Well, so a lot of the problem was it was led by a bunch of young people in the Nigerian military, right? And some of the chief participants in the coup were Igbo, right? And when that was about to happen, Nnamdi Azikiwe was conveniently not in the country at the time. And then the person that became president was Aguiyi Ironsi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, head of state.
And
yeah.
Aguiyi Ironsi didn't exactly punish the people.
Then he failed to execute
He
them.
failed to execute
We
them,
should have done.
right? So the bias was built
And
up of that.
Northerners lost a
and
lot of
Northerners lost a
prominent
lot.
people. You have to,
Exactly,
like,
a lot of
Tafawa
confidence
Balewa,
in that. Exactly, exactly.
Amadou Bello, Mimalari.
That was not the one that Adekunle Fajri died.
No,
It was
he
what
died
it
in
was,
the July
66. Is that the 67, 66?
No, 66 was July. There was the first
July
coup in
66,
January,
yeah,
the second coup in
66.
July.
That is 66. Now, I don't. So a lot of that created I think because now Nigeria was left to it. It wasn't left.
It was already fragile
It was already fragile,
From
but
the
from
the
that
beginning.
regional government
but the
when
power
they did the regional
problems
elections.
and the
Yeah.
power, the things that were confronted after that were now much more personal, and people that had power to do something about it.
Did it?
Does that make sense? They did it. And then the people that now a lot of people that can now do something about it because the power was now in their hands. They can do whatever the fuck they wanted with it. And now the problem was the country's wealth was growing.
Yeah.
It was growing. I think it's 74, 75 we joined OPEC. Wealth was ridiculous. Did you see what someone tweeted something about Grenada?
Yeah, paying.
Nigeria paid, like Grenada was in crisis. Nigeria
Nigeria is
Nigeria
crime
bailed
scene.
them
If you
out.
Mark Solion, you
Does that make
be
sense?
shocked.
So this tribalism shit is from that first school. It snowballed. It just snowballed. The unforgiveness, the paranoia, just like the problems for the First World War snowballed into the Second War. That's exactly what happened in Nigeria.
Then let's
It
take
just
it to
kept
this-
getting
let's-
worse.
let's move it to
It
the
existed,
Civil War.
getting worse.
It
And
existed
so, but my
before
point
the
is-
first school, but it was able to be contained because it was left
bro.
to the region.
Now people
So
now
when Agui-
there was now sectarian sectionalism after that period,
yeah, and he even
and
like
now allegiances were built. All of those
And then
things.
it trickled
It
down
was
to the
worse
whole
when
nation.
we became
So let's bring
federal
it back
government
to
and-
2024 now,
Yeah.
and how tribalism comes up in something as silly as a hot man.
That's where it's going to come
smoking.
from.
That's what Adeayo
That's what I'm saying. Let's take it back to this
so
place
the
now.
problem-
So I was going to disagree with Adeayo when he
Okay.
said we need to come and have a conversation about it and we all need to address it. Personally, I don't think that's going to do anything for anybody.
What is going to do?
What
to
I
decide if we want
think,
to be
how
one
I
country.
think, how I think we can curb tribalism in this country is we're going to start from the ground up.
What
We're
was
not-
ground up?
The ground up is every individually. We need to understand
You're
that
an
it is
idealist, Sarah.
No,
no,
I-
my
I've
point
realized
is no.
that.
This is how I. So I'm speaking from a place
you
of
have-
how I'm going to handle, how I wish society was. Maybe I'm speaking from wishing
you
because I'm
fractionalize
thinking that
society.
because I feel like
and you don't
society
see how
in fractions.
things
I
put-
think
how things how
I
ideas pull people together.
I think
that's
that
the issue.
I think that society in fractions. If I'm looking for the right word to use, but like. If our different fractions are doing what we should with
No,
common
it
sense,
has
that's
never
how
been
it
like
works.
that from
So
the
I was
time
saying
of
from
the-
a place of
what did
I was
Thomas
gonna say-
up call itself the
I was going
Positivist theories.
I was- I was
that's
actually-
not positivist theory.
I was going to
No,
say
that's actually positivism.
yeah, but when this thing this thing where the what was this term where the government and the people come together like the
Marxism?
no I remember social contract here.
Oh, social contract.
Yeah, thank you.
I was going to say that we don't understand the concept of family. I started off this whole tribal thing speaking of
So you're talking about
Speaking of-
affecting it from the smallest part to the biggest part.
yes,
That's what
and I'm
saying.
yes, and I was saying that
That's a
we,
dream, though.
we
It's not
don't.
going to happen.
No, it's not like a dream. We just.
It is
I
a
think
dream,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
that we don't understand the concept of family, because if we do understand, a lot of societal problems for me comes from the home.
You know,
That's what I think. Genuinely,
here's the thing,
and I'm
Adeayo.
saying
That's-
that these
she's not wrong.
these
That's a
guys
micro-
no
No, she's not wrong.
That's a
no
macro-
I'm
She's
saying
not
that
wrong.
these guys
She's
who
not
are
wrong.
coming online to some people will say, oh, he's not even hot, that they feel like Yoruba boys are not hot, so this old man is not hot.
Fair enough.
Some other people feel like
Wait,
this
whereas the man is hot.
whereas the man is so damn hot.
all right. Yeah.
And then some other Yoruba people feel like this man is the hottest man in Nigeria.
Because
No
he's
other
Yoruba.
tribe is hotter than Yoruba.
Yeah.
And you just know that these things, this rubbish people are saying,
You can
you
even though they're not
just
saying
know
it, you
that
can see the
this
bias.
this is a living room conversation with your mother and your father.
Shit.
That 25 years later you're bringing online. I want us to admit it with ourselves that a lot of these things are from our homes. I like that you guys
Where did the
started from.
parents get it from?
That's my point. I like that you guys started from the history of Nigeria and whatnot. But I want us to be honest with ourselves when it comes to now, like we stated before, like the world is no longer a place of liberalism and everyone is liberal, or conservatism and everyone is conservative.
There's a lot of people that are still either or.
That's my point. But however, I just feel like that we have access to so much information now to still be stifled by just one perspective. So I think that with the way it's stupid in 2024, Adeayo, to be tribalistic.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is stupid.
It's
stupid.
It is no.
Stupid. Adeayo, it is stupid.
Guys, let's not
A
argue.
human phenomenon. What are you guys saying? It existed from the Romans.
Guys,
See,
guys,
nobody's
chill.
saying. See,
Let's not
Motolani.
Let's not talk in each
Wait.
other's mouth.
Okay.
One
So
by
here's what I'm saying. Right. It's not out of place as a human, like you said. It's the same way men feel like they're better than women. It's the same way Igbos feel like they're better than Yorubas. It's just a thing of us as human beings
generally want to be superior to the other person.
It's self-preservation.
I get that. Nobody's taking this angle out of it. However, what is stupid is somebody waking up in 2024 and boldly declaring and feeling like just because they belong to this particular
Tribe,
sect, they are better off.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid on all fronts. That's the point I'm trying to
But
make.
that's a human
I
condition.
mean, it's bias.
And I'm saying that.
It's prejudice, human prejudice.
Even if
It's
we
just when it
meet
manifests
and
that I have
have
an
a
issue. I don't care that you
conversation
think
like
you think
Adeayo
like
is
that.
saying, it can never be effective.
No, I'm not saying a conversation. What I'm saying is
Address the matter.
No.
Let's have it.
What I'm saying is you say family. Now, where family pick up the ideas is from society. Now, when the father that had those kind of things, like now me, I won't go out there and be generally tribalistic to people, and I've expressed Nigeria. Boys I play football with, I grew up in the north, I grew up in Kano. Boys I play football with that they know my name. They were beating me up during Ramadan because they saw me buy sugar cane. So me have expressed Nigeria.
You shouldn't buy sugar cane during Ramadan.
That's just like
They were fasting you wearing.
yeah, they thought I was a Muslim and they found out I was not, and they became very aggressive and they were shoving me around, they were punching me. And
Really?
it was a security guard from when my mom worked, a school she worked, that saw them and said, "Stop, leave him alone." Right? So I know, so I can tell you, idealistically, I'm not tribalist, I'm cool, but I know that I will be around some people and I'll be scared for my life. It is facts. It is the reality of Nigeria, right? And it is not, see, if this stuff that they pick up from their families and stuff, it is something that we pass down from generation to generation to generation to generation. Like they themselves, they're going to carry this bias and hand it to their children because it is cultural. It is cultural. So like it's not something a particular family, like you yourself now, you raise your kid in terms of let me land, right? I'm just saying, like, okay, should I raise my own kid if you don't want me to raise your kid?
No, like I'm saying, think of a world where you raise your kid that same way.
That's where I'm going to.
We all in this room.
That's where I'm going to. Now it is not practicable.
How?
Wait, now,
It's not realistic.
It's not just only realistic. It is not practicable because you raise your kid in a way that in an ideal that is popular, culturally popular. What forms?
In a way that I don't think it's a personal thing.
No,
Adeayo. Let me tell you why it's a personal thing.
Wait,
the culture.
Yoruba people raise their kids in a particular way because it is popular and cultural.
But
to
even in
Yorubas,
the
not because it's particular to you.
Even
there are extra things you raise your kids with.
Even
extra
in the Yoruba,
ideas,
even
extra
in the Yoruba
philosophies
culture,
that are personal to you.
I hear you. Even in the Yoruba culture, right? There's a lot of differences, fragmentations.
Yes.
There's also that even in
Yes.
the Igbo
So
culture
what I'm saying
too.
is that how people raise families, like how a Northerner raises his family, is different from how a Southeasterner raises his family, and now Yoruba people raise his family, and you are going to find.
But then I have
what I'm saying is that you're going to find a common denominator. You have more common denominators in the Southeast than, like, if you look at the South, you find common denominators.
I
If you look at the North, you find common denominators because it is cultural. It is culture that influences all these things, right? So it's not like fighting tribalism is not one of those when what a call to action stuff that you say you as a person fight it on your own. No, it is.
See, I promise you that's the only way.
Let me finish. Because it is not. It's because you fighting it on your own and you arrest on your own doesn't help you. It is the truth. It doesn't help you. For example, now if I'm in the north, right, I'm in Kano, and it's on a Friday, they're coming back from the mosques, and some crazy guy in France. Some crazy guys in France have painted a picture that they deem blasphemous, and they are shouting and they are trying to kill people. And I'm there and saying that, I don't want to be. I'm very open. I'm very woke. I'm very open. I'm not going to look at this from a tribal lens. I'm going to look at this from what is going on. They're going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
They're going to let me just finish. They're going to kill you, right? So it's going to be like now, like it is tribalism is like, I mean, it's a human phenomenon. It's a kind of a self-preservation system. But for Nigeria, it is becoming, we use it as a way to fight each other because we don't fucking like each other. And why I think the only way for us to defeat, we can't defeat tribalism. The only way for us to address tribalism, especially in terms of how it manifests in trivial things, right? The way I see it is for us to actually address why we do not like each other. And the reason we do not like each other is political distrust. It is that simple. It is political distrust.
And a lot of it has to come with admittance of faults.
But then I feel like a lot of us will not admit our faults.
And that's part of the problem. That's why we're never going to.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of us will not admit our faults.
No, you as a person, right? Like your own flaw or your own fault that you think your Yoruba person is dirty or stuff like that, it doesn't really interest me. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. It's tribal, it's prejudiced, it is not peculiar to you. Everybody around the world has it. You understand? Like, I don't care. The Chinese are fucking racist. The reason you don't know is because of their language. And the reason the European will not be racist to Chinese because they have economic power. Yeah. That's why you see Chinese written in Belgium or in European airport and French because they have economic power. Yeah. You understand, right? So me, it doesn't really. I'm not going to be a Caribbean and say, you see, you want people is dirty. It is prejudiced. I don't give a damn. It has existed, like, even between Ijesha and Ekiti. There are prejudices.
If you're Modakeke fought for years,
they say Ekiti and Ijesha get Agidi. They say Ondo, blah blah blah. So I don't like. It doesn't really interest me. It is the manifestation.
Yoruba people from Ekiti will say you should not marry Ijebu person.
So, but then there will be no manifestation if there are no thoughts like this.
Yeah, what I'm saying that why it manifests, like why the prejudice manifests, it is because there's a political space for it to manifest, not because that is necessarily
there's a thriving environment and the people that are equipped and ever ready to actually promote it because their biases are aligned with what it brings to them, and there's a benefit scheme. If there was no benefits, tribalism would not exist.
Actually, what fun is political.
Let's not belabor this conversation. Yeah. We're not going to agree. Yeah. Let me give us a final conversation, two final conversations. So someone tweets, I'm proud of men in my house right now. We're talking about submitting to your woman. Such a beautiful conversation.
Why are we back to men and women? Are we back to men and women?
Yeah, we are.
Like, what's the question?
Do you think men... Let me read that tweet again. I'm proud of men in my house right now. We are talking about submitting to your woman. Such a beautiful convo.
Men submitting to their women.
What do you think?
So do I think what? What do I think about men submitting to their women?
Yeah.
Like I said, when I'm going to view marriage, I view it from a Christian point of view.
So that's not possible, you view?
No, it is possible because what is love?
The Bible, Corinthians.
It's not just in 1 Corinthians; it's also in Ephesians. There are different parts of the Bible.
Oh shit, scholar.
So is it like should men submit to their wife?
So my point is, when we hear this word submit, what exactly does that do to you or do for you? Because the Bible says that a man should love his wife
as he loves his church. That's 1 Corinthians.
Exactly, as Christ loved the church. If you're going to actually love somebody, you're going to want to listen to what they have to say. That's submission.
I think that's it.
You're going to have to want to listen to what you're going to have to listen to what they want have to say.
With that word, right? So I think when it comes to submission, was it on one particular pod that ID Kabasa was explaining the terms of submission or something. I think he gave this brilliant analysis of this submission stuff, like how people don't understand the word. Like, so I think
Kabasa is a very smart one.
Yeah, I think it's really.
I think so too.
I think once it's that issue, that word, like submit, like it's like slavery. Like people view it from that lens, like it's like slavery.
But it's not.
It's like, no, I'm not saying that is what it is.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to.
It is not. People will never.
It's not. Submission is not slavery.
The same stuff, right? So how I see it, right? It's this thing, and this is the only. It's how you understand it and what you understand to be able to submit. Like, it's for me now.
Do you have a problem as you are Adeayo? Do you have a problem with submitting to Queen Adeayo?
Stop calling my girlfriend Queen Adeayo to start with. And okay,
do you think it's condescending? Huh? Do you think it's condescending?
Like Queen Adeayo?
I think it's dramatic and it's just
But she's your queen. Shout
Can
out
I
to
say
Queen
something?
Adeayo.
Yeah, so
Say.
just to round up here before you say something. So yeah, in terms of submitting, right? It's see this thing. It's not something. It's not something that is understandable for a lot of men. It is new to them when you say submit to your women. It is not.
I think it's the
you,
term
I
that's
think you
the
understand
issue.
where they okay. Your side is crazy to them, right? And again, that's why this is the time where you have the meeting has to be in sync, and you have to understand that okay, do you understand me of submission? Do you understand what it means to submit? Some people cannot even apologize. So imagine not being able to apologize. How will you even be able to submit? So again, submit now for me is being able to actually listen and do what I need to do.
So according to Oxford Dictionary,
You people don't want me to talk. You're trying
I
to
was
steal a
going
black
to-
man's voice.
no, I was going to let's actually understand what
Let's do it.
submission is.
In the context of a relationship.
Yeah, so this says submission is the action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person.
Can I come in?
Yes, come in
That's
here.
easy.
Words have meanings and connotations. And because words have meanings, they can't be viewed in isolation. However, the meaning of words also carry meaning, like in terms of not just connotation in terms of the populace, but also the actual meaning of what the person that's tweeting this thing, what it could mean. So I saw a tweet some days ago, and the guy says, give me a second. The guy says this. Give me a second. I'm a very dominant person, but I prefer to be submissive for my lady. Not in a sexual way, but in a quote, I love you and want you to have everything you want and need, and whatever you have, I will ensure that I will take care of them, end quote, type of way. Let me help ease you, on his knees. So it's like the word feminism, right?
So that's his own idea
That's
of
the definition
submission.
of submission. It's like the word feminism for a lot of people. I see a lot of people say, I am not a feminist. And I laugh. What you do is feminism, essentially, right? So I think, but I wouldn't equate feminism with submission. The concept of submission connotes like the presence of a superior being and all of that dynamic. And because of that, a lot of men are not going to agree to it. But if we are talking about what quote and unquote submission means for men, it might be different. Like the meaning.
What do you think it means for men?
To this guy, I subscribe to what this guy is saying.
Okay.
Right? I'm
Let
a
her
very
have her
dominant
way.
person. Not let her have her way.
For me, it's just
Help her.
reciprocal.
Okay.
Help her. Like, help her. First of all, you have to understand her. Secondly, you have to be willing to listen. Thirdly, you have to be willing to be teachable. And then you have to help. And no, maybe not help. Help is a little demeaning. Play your role. You have a role to play.
Help.
Just play your role.
Can help.
That's it. Play your role. So the moment you play your role, you're going to be fine. Right? So I don't...
What do you think these roles are?
As a man, it
Yeah.
depends.
On what?
It depends on what your woman wants. It's not what every woman wants. It's what and if you find your woman to be good enough, then you have to do what she thinks is the right way to do. Because a lot of people think men are the ones that lead. Yes, we do lead the home, but the people that make the decisions, the material decisions, are the women. It's the truth.
That's why I said.
Because,
that's where
like,
loving your
there's
wife
a-
comes in.
Yeah, there's a guy that said, there was a video that I saw over the weekend. The guy said, when we got married, my wife said, you are the leader and you are in charge of all the material decisions. But guess what? In 35 years, there has never been a material decision.
That's where loving your wife comes in. That's the point I was trying to make.
I don't. The submission thing, I don't believe in.
Wait, so you think they should submit differently?
No.
Women should submit
I
differently.
think,
Men should submit
I
differently.
think what submission means is what is going to determine what I agree with or not disagree with.
Okay.
The submission concept of a man being subordinate. I don't even
Not
think you're-
subordinate.
Just give me a second. Of being the. I don't want
But is that okay? for in terms of that
Say the word you wanted to
subordinate
say.
connotation
I don't,
when it applies to women?
because your woman will never find you sexy.
True. Let's not pretend.
Let's not lie.
Let's not pretend.
Let's not
yes.
lie. Your woman wants masculinity.
Yeah.
It's the truth, right? Your woman finds your masculinity sexy.
Yes.
So you can't be
Can't be
it's not going to-
swagbe.
You can't be swagbe. It's not going to work, right? So the truth is, this submission thing that we're talking about, it has to be. It can't be what it means in strict sense. You can determine what it means by making your woman feel better,
Yeah.
making her feel wanted, not making her feel like
She's
every
in
man
charge.
out there can make her feel.
Yeah.
Right. I think that makes sense. But if you're talking about this, I don't think men should
Not submit like be a fool,
I think
but
the
submit
word-
to listen.
I think the word
Yeah.
is where the problem is.
and I think that loving comes with submission.
I agree with you.
So like this whole drama we're fighting, if only we would just read our Bible and do life the way God said we
Oh,
should.
shit.
It's true.
Anyway.
Are you really particular about your Christianity?
Guys,
I really am.
Yeah, I think
we're
it's
at
nice.
the end of our pod,
Oh,
of this
been a
fantastic
pleasure.
episode. Do you know the greatest compliment I can pay you guys?
what?
Is that I like the definition of a great podcast is when you don't know when time flies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you are watching, is this time going to end? That's not a great episode. But if time runs fast and it feels like time,
it's 5 a.m. yet.
Eh.
and if it doesn't feel like time,
Seems like he's having a
What's the
blast,
time?
having a blast.
12:20.
Whoa, you were right, oh.
Yes, no, that's a good thing.
We
That
lost
means you had
track
a
of
blast.
time.
That means you had a blast.
Yeah, we
And
did.
thank you to our listeners and our watchers. Pop Central Channel 189 on DSTV. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning into the greatest. You don't tune into the greatest.
What is that?
Yeah, he started on a dramatic note. So he's trying to end
You
on a
don't tune
dramatic
into the
note.
greatest. To the motherfucking greatest.
Yes.
We didn't cuss a lot on this episode.
We actually didn't.
We did?
We didn't.
Exactly.
We didn't. But we
All the
did
guys are
at some
fucking
point.
PC,
though.
man.
Yeah.
We're not talking.
I tend to
13-year-olds.
like use curse words sometimes.
There's a reason why they put us in this belt so we can say fuck.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
trying to.
exhausted
So the problem is me. I'm
profanities.
trying to curb the way I use those words.
Fuck off.
No, you did.
Anyway.
you said it. You did.
I did say it,
yeah.
but I know that I
Can you
controlled
allow
it.
me to round up?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Go on.
This episode comes out on Mondays. We are live on Fridays on DSTV channel 189 Pop Central TV from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Sometimes after 12, sometimes starts late after 10 p.m. But we love you guys still. We think you are good for rocking with us. Send us an email. You can see our email on the screen. You have a prize to win. I have a new question for you guys this week. Who is the current brand manager of Chivas Regal? If you can give me the answer, I can give you a bottle of Chivas. Thank you for rocking with us. Episode out on Monday on all streaming platforms where you get your podcast. This episode was still brought to you by Chivas Regal. Get a bottle of Chivas XV today. Thank you.